Good morning. I got my laptop up and there's Echo. Hi, Tater. Hi, Ocean. You OGs are here early. Thanks for always being here with me on Saturday. We got updates on the kittens. Get a cat, they said. Uh, so Harley still has her problem. Every day I'm still picking up a mess. Coco is now having problems. Jack's okay though. Mr. Kazi treated me to a coffee this morning. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning. How is everything going with you? The house going okay? The move, all that? So yeah. Um, I know I wasn't here last week because second round. Did I update you guys on the vet visit? Oh, that's awkward. Okay. Coffee has sound effects. So the vet came and we did blood work and stool sample and gave meds. Did I tell you guys this? I'm not sure. Um, Harley was just a jerk when it came to the meds. I don't blame her. I don't want somebody shoving something down my throat either. But the meds were to help her GI. We got out of 7 days, we got 5 full days. Little brat. She would hide it and then she'd spit it out under the table. And then they get like real they get wet and then they get mushy, so then I can't give her the pill. And she has a prescription hydrel. She's got a prescription probiotic for 45 days. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. What am I going to do? Good morning, Nico. How are you? Nico, I realized that Steve is you and you are Steve. I realized that in the last live afterwards, and I was like, oh, wait, hold on. So good morning, Steve and Nico. Hi, Corey. It's nice to see you. So Coco's not as bad as Harley is, but Harley is being she's just protesting the box. And I'm not here for that because I don't want to be picking up poop every day. However, it has gotten different. I was telling Jarella, like, this is a fur mom. You gotta you gotta compare poop stories. So it's gotten better. However, can she at least do it in the box? She is Mr. Kazi's buddy now. She doesn't hang with me. And again, Jarella said maybe it's because he's sick and she wants to. Ooh, Lilith! Good morning. Maybe she wants to protect him because he's sick. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can get her. I changed their food. Jarella's suggestion was to change their food. I forget the brand name, but they're little tiny pellets. It looks like, to be honest, it looks like rabbit poo. Closing is Thursday. Moving day is Star Wars Day, May 4th. Moving truck reserved. Equally excited and stressed. Oh, that's exciting. It is so stressful, but it's the best feeling ever. I'm so happy for you. It could be stress, the routine train. Yeah, it could be. Um, but now is it becoming open farms? That's it. Is it becoming like behavioral? Because I'm sick of my carpet getting ruined. I'm constantly down there scrubbing it. Whatever. So anyway, they're still whatevs. Little brats. I love them so much, though. You have to take care of them. I am going to call the vet and tell them that, nothing's really changed except, the consistency of her stool to see if, we're on the right track and if it's going to, like, it's probiotic. But I had all three of them checked out. Jack has two molars that are going to require, like, I told her, I said, I'm in dentistry, just hit me with it. She's like, well, it would be like a root canal, but we don't do root canals on cats. I said, I ain't paying for a root canal for the cat. She said, so what they do, because his tooth is gray on either side, it's grayed out, so it's dying. She's check this out. I never knew this. She said, they'll cut the crown. So they're gonna cut his tooth at the gum line, like extract it. But the tooth, the root of the tooth absorbs, like the body will absorb it. I said, what? The cat's tooth just like it's going to just disappear over time. He's going to absorb his tooth. I said, all right, well, that's a problem for another day. Okay. We have to worry about, like, the little one who's having issues. I never knew that about a cat tooth. And she's like, oh, I love teeth. And so she comes up and she shows me her necklace. And she had like a little medallion on it. And I thought it was like the Mother Mary. Like it was like a little oval, pendant. And it had like, it was white. And I thought, well, that, it's the Mother Mary. She was like a distance away. I wasn't really like, zoned in on her. She comes up and she shows me it was a cat tooth. She had a cat tooth on a pendant. I said, "Oh, all right, well, at least I'm not the only crazy tooth lady around here." So there's that. But anyway, so it was a bad week for me, and I'm glad you guys are here. I was told that I had to come in today, and I said, no, I'm not coming in. I got plans. And I ain't telling nobody at work that I sit here and chit chat with you guys on Saturday morning over coffee, because nobody needs to be lurking from my job. I just don't need that nonsense. Good morning, Andre. How are you? Are you out there causing trouble out there in the drama world? So I said, no, no, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. And Flo, I was going to cook, but Mr. Kazi went to, I went food shopping last night. When I came home, I knocked over my, spray, my cooking spray. And it was like, it's damn near empty. I said, if I would have known, I would have grabbed it. I was just at the store. Um, So he went out this morning because he wanted to go get cases of water, and I don't have room in the mini for water. So he went to go pick up water. It was on sale, and he picked up my cooking spray and more milk because he didn't tell me to get regular milk. And when I looked at it, I was like, we're going to need more. Don't you hate that? Like you go shopping and you come home and you're like, damn it, I forgot this. Thank you, Lila. So I was going to cook because he gave me a long list. I said, that's a tall order, Mr. Kazi. He wants steak tips and gravy, roasted potatoes and garlic, chicken cutlets, vegetables. The breakfast sandwiches are a huge hit. We're still doing the breakfast sandwiches or wraps, whatever. And yeah, we got the Fairlight. And he wants me to make him either the protein bar thing or peanut butter cookies. Okay, whatever. So there is a lot to do, but I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like cooking right now. I'm just like, I just want to hang out with you peeps. I just want to hang out and talk shop. There's a few things. There's a lot going on in the royal world. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Last night I noticed, I told Mr. Kazi when I was in the room, he wants the bacon. And Flo, if you don't stop breaking my balls about that bacon, I never baked turkey bacon in the oven, okay? And we were preoccupied, so I forgot it. At least it didn't catch fire. It's just very, very crispy. But he just wants egg and cheese. And he asked me to make the wrap firmer, and I'm like, what do you mean firmer? So he wants me to toast the wrap first and then put the eggs in it, but you can't. He's listening. You can't do that because it won't wrap. So I'm going to have to wrap it and then toast it. So we'll see. But I didn't feel like doing that. You don't have to do it. I will. Um, so you love me. I love you too. I love you too, my popcorner friend. So what's been going on with you guys? Because I don't know if I should talk about work. I don't know if I should talk about this friggin' job that is gotten worse. Oh no, Nico, I write a list. I definitely write a list. But Mr. Kazi gave me a list, so I was going from a text message to my list. And then like in his he put the milk because he checked to see like where we were on the milk. So I didn't put the regular milk on there because I thought we had some. And then when I got home I realized we didn't have enough. You're always in trouble. Andre, we're just watching things unfold, aren't we? I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm paying attention to what's going on, but I'll tell you what, I ain't getting involved. I ain't getting involved in everything that's going on because, your name's seen in the chat and then all of a sudden you're being attacked. And I just don't feel like dealing with that shit. All right. But I know what's going on. And I giggle about a lot of things. And then I cringe about a lot of things. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Every day this week, I was in software texting messages all day long conference. It was brutal. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, you guys already hear the crazy, well, let me begin here. Monday, I did not feel good. And I said, I literally did not feel good. I said, I caught what the cats had. I had a stomach thing going on. I was like, I can't, my head hurt. My ears were clogged. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It started the last weekend. I was like real blah. Um, but Monday I woke up and I was like, I can't do this. Like I can't do it. So I knew I was down a person in the back, but we got someone to come in and help us for the day. And she had been in the office before. So I told my front desk girl and I told, my boss. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I have to be, here. So then I get a call out from another assistant, which means I have to go in now because my front desk girl is also an assistant. So I have to send her in the back and, make sure that they're taken care of. So I get my happy ass out of bed, take a shower, get to work, right? It was mass chaos. Mass chaos. Things were not set up. They didn't have, like, it was a Monday morning. It was the Mondayest of the Mondays. So the doctor was running behind, and as his patients came in, I tried calling them before they came to the office, but I didn't get a hold of anybody because people don't pay their cell phone bills, I guess, or they changed their number. I'm not quite sure. So I'm trying to get a hold of people and tell them that they're running behind. This one woman comes in, and I said, "Doctor's running behind, and I don't know how long the wait's going to be. We can have you come back and, blah, blah, blah." "No, I'll wait." I said, "Okay." So we had a girl in another doctor's schedule who was having an emergency. And I was talking to her. The doctor put her, I'm just over here praying for rain, is on fire. Wait, did I hear that? I thought it was a different area. We have rain right now, Tater. I want to send it down to you immediately. I need to look that up. Georgia fires. Are you near the fire? Not that it matters because Georgia wildfires. Thousands of acres in Georgia and Florida. Oh my word. Lady Autumn Sky, hello. Hello to you, beautiful soul. Tater, are you close to these fires? Why is all this stuff happening? Brunswick is where we stay. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tater. I was just reading. Where's my voice? Where'd it go? I'm over here bitching about work. It's really my situation at work is really bad. Um, the map that I'm looking at, it's showing like southeast, and then it's showing like around Macon, Georgia. I'm not gonna put this map up because if you tell me you're near it, I ain't doxing you. We ain't doing that to the taters. Near enough, over 100 homes gone. Sorry, I messed up. You didn't mess up Caturday. We're here to talk to one another. We're here for prayers if we need it, and like celebrations and stuff like that. That's get near enough. I would imagine that it's scary. You didn't mess up Caturday. How can you mess up Caturday? I didn't even know what was going on because I've been in my own bubble, like selfishly been in my own bubble, and like belly aching about nonsense that's happening at a job that I knew was going to be nonsense. Whatever. Maybe a rain dance. Brantley County and County, the biggest two. Oh my gosh. This is like really bizarre. Things are happening all over the world, like, well, all over the world, but like just nonsense is happening in, like, you usually hear about like California wildfires, which is it their season for wildfires? It's scary. It's like scary, and especially like acres, thousands of acres. Oh my word. Oh, Tater. You and your hubs and your fur babies stay safe. Cause they go quick. A fire can like move quick. So if you need to get yourself down to that Jacksonville. I know you hate that ride, but you get down there. You get down there. This is terrible. Oh God, please. Wrap your arms around everyone in that area. Drought can, yeah. N- No, Andre, it's not the doctors. It's ownership. Um, since I've been there, I've lost 3 doctors and a hygienist. Mm-hmm. And pressure's on to make those numbers. But when you don't have a provider, you can't do that. And it seems like everything's my fault. But I'm like, dude, if you can't keep the staff, I mean, like the provider staff, whatever. I'm stressed out so bad, I'm getting psoriasis on my face, and I've never had psoriasis on my face. But we'll make it through. We'll get there. We're gonna motor on. We have bad days and good days. So there's that. I just gotta get an attitude because the email that I received, I'm seeing red that I haven't responded to it, and he keeps telling me I need to respond to it, and I'm like, I will. I will. He's like, no, you need to. I said, I will. You don't want me to respond to something when I'm seeing red because I'm just going to tell you about yourself, and you don't want me to do that. I don't want to do that because then I'll definitely lose my position. But I am gonna tell him, like, "Look, you're throwing things on me and, like, my tone." Well, the floors are still busted. We still have paper blinds in the operatories. Like, these are all things that were supposed to be done in December, but here we are, almost May. Here we are, almost May. And it's a lot of other things too. Thank you for the prayers. I'm just stressed out. Of course you would be stressed out. I would be stressed out too. We don't have, I don't think that we have. They do, like on the way down to LBI, which is a shore here, it goes through the Pine Barrens, which is, nothing but woods. And they say, like, that's where the Jersey Devil is, the folklore. But a lot of mafia likes the area because, it's a nice dumping ground. True story. Along that road, it's just nothing but woods, and they do, like, preventative fires. So they'll, like, on the where the road is, they'll light the fires for the trees and, like, scorch the trees. Apparently, that's supposed to help if there were a fire, because people be going down there when it's dry and, like, flicking cigarettes out the window, and they could, cause a fire. I never thought about that when I was a smoker, like, doing that nonsense. Now I feel bad about every cigarette I smoked and put out the window. Controlled burns, yeah. You go down there, it's like in the springtime they start doing that. Um, but we don't really get too much of that stuff here in Jersey. It's weird. I don't know. Why in Georgia? Because you guys are hot? Here's bipolar. Like one day I'm like putting a hoodie on and I needed a t-shirt. The next day, like, we have the windows open now. It's freaking chilly. My feet are cold. And my new slippers are down. Well, I got my downstairs slippers are downstairs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where are me and Mr. Kazi coming from? Oh, was it last? I don't know. He took me out on a date. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was last Sunday. We went out on a date on no, the weekend before. He took me down the shore, down to Cape May. Right. It's exit 0 in Jersey. It's a cute little town. It's definitely, the shore, and like very, like, hoity-toity. If you want to buy a home down there, you're spending at least $5 million. So we went to a restaurant. We went to a seafood restaurant. It was really nice. It was um uh like the the female servers wore, like, navy outfits, like the navy dress with the cape, and the male servers wore something that was, like, navy, like, it was really, it was old furniture, and the decor, it was all vintage, like, it was, like, it was really nice, it was really nice, we had a good time, and, sorry for my K&A attitude, but if they promise to work, it's their job. They need to lay out. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. So it was a really nice time. We both had a glass of wine. Mr. Kazi had a glass of wine. When he ordered it, I thought, "What? You're gonna have wine?" Because I've never seen him drink wine before. Like, I've seen him have, like, a beer, like, in season 1, I've seen him have his drink of choice back then, and he only ever had, like, one, was, like, a whiskey sour, or, a beer, but he was never, like, a big drinker. So him getting a glass of wine, I was like, "Oh, all right." And I was afraid because it was my first glass of wine since the weight loss surgery, and I was like, "Oh, no." They said I'm gonna get drunk really quick. So for the whole 2 hours we were at the restaurant, I just sipped it. I sipped it with lots of ice. So it was nice. It was like, I didn't catch the bus. Hi, Run Amok. Good morning. Season 1, that's what we call it. So, I asked our waiter was amazing. He was like in his 20s and hilarious. So him and Mr. Kazi were going back and forth. It was a show for me. Like I didn't speak much when those two were talking because they just kept going back and forth. It was really, really, really funny. They were really funny together. So it was a nice day out. Like we walked around the little area. We went to um this one restaurant that I went to when I was like 9 years old, and I said, let's just go in there and get like an appetizer because I just wanted to peek in and see what it looked like if I remembered correctly. It was completely different. I said, this is not what I remembered. Not at all what I remembered. So we had like a light snack, and then, we drove around, and then we went to the restaurant and we had our dinner. But it was really nice. He took me out. And this week, I was crying and in text messages during work, and I'm like, I want to go on another date. I want another date with you. So, and his Flyers are on. The Flyers are in the playoffs, and they're winning the last 3 games of the playoffs. They won. He's all excited. He's all flyered out right now because they're on tonight at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever. Whatever. It's tonight. I know it's tonight. So I can't talk to him, and I can't walk by the TV when it's on. And he's like, I don't care if it's a serious conversation, but don't ask me about like, should I put onions in your steak? Like, don't ask me those questions. Just wait till after the game. So I have to get all of my details before the game comes on. Go Flyers, right. Oh my gosh. And I giggle, but I know that it drives him insane and I don't purposely do it. I just am mindless. I'm not mindful of like how important this is for him. So he was a kid when they won the Stanley Cup, and they had the parade, and his mom said next year that she would take him because he was too young, and next year has turned into like 50 years, right? So, I really hope they go far. I want them to take it all the way because it would be amazing for them. But, you know, I just I really am not mindful when the game is on and I'm talking to him, and I'm laughing now because I'm an idiot. And he gently reminds me to shh, and I'll get the huff because, yeah, I mean, I know I would be annoyed too, you know? So hopefully they win for him and they'll be done this series because it's like 7 games and like they've won 3 already. So if they win tonight, they beat that team and then they move up in the bracket. So hopefully they win because they're in Philly, and that would be nice to like close out the series on home ice. I know a little bit about hockey. No, no. I know that they play on ice and they lose teeth and they play with sticks and a puck. All the other nonsense, like the rules and how they play, I can't keep up. It's too fast for me. So I can't. It's like a cat with a laser. I can't get it. I can't get it. Where's Charlotte Luke? Good morning. I don't understand, high sticking and like, off like, icing. I don't understand all that. He would be very We can't learn during the playoffs, but he would be very open to teaching me about hockey. But I just can't keep up. It's a good time to be. I know the Sixers, and we just drafted a couple of people, and it was an exciting NFL draft. We stole someone from Pittsburgh. Now, the Flyers are playing Pittsburgh, right? They're rivals. I do know that. I believe that that's the team he does not like. So I believe that they're the rivals, which you would think it would be Jersey, but it's not. It's the Penguins, the Pittsburghs. The draft was held in Pittsburgh. The Eagles took over, like the guy was on the phone with from what I heard, it's rumor. The guy was on the phone with the Steelers getting ready to like, take the contract, and the Eagles went and swooped in and took him. And it's just like Philly is just kicking Pittsburgh's ass this week. It's a shame. 72, 73, 74. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's when, yeah. He was young. His mom said you ain't going to the parade, you're too young. So he wants to see a parade. He's seen the Eagles parades. So I'm here to cause trouble. Well, you cause trouble with that. Like, but I'm not gonna break your stones on the actual here and the here. Because I do that all the time. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I send it and then I see all my typos and misspellings, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. You guys know me. So I have no idea what's going on over there in the DC as far as like the bombshell DC. I know what's going on in the girl world DC or drama, but I'm paying attention. Like I think it's because I truly enjoy Ashley. Um, I truly enjoy her. She's a very funny creator. Now, when she starts talking about like, the no topics, like, with Roz and her boyfriend, and like, do you think he's done? Do you think they did it? I just say, oh my word, I can't do this. And then I tell everybody in chat that I hate it here, which is true when that part happens. Yes, they swooped up a player with its claws. So I'm just like thoroughly enjoying like watching this whole Texas vlog thing play out. I want to see, yeah, I hope that they stay together, but I really don't have high hopes for them staying a couple. You heard it here first. Luke, how you know about the foodie and the slaw? I don't know. Not much. Like all I know is that she took off on his family, and she like completely was just a jerk and disrespectful. And then it became close to payday, and now they're talking again. This is what happens during her relationships. She fights with them in mid-month, and then when it comes to time for payday, they're all lovey-dovey again. So I don't know. She's saying that he married a cousin. Who the hell knows? All I know is that girl is on a scooter, and she should not be doing. She should be walking. She should be exercising. These girls need to know that they got to get up and they got to walk. First season of the Nashville Predators. I went all the time, but haven't gone in a while. Charlotte's been dabbling in the foodie content. Luke, we all have our opinions, right? I tried to get into Charlotte, and I don't have the same opinion as many. I respect that everybody loves her, but I couldn't get into her. So I can't imagine her getting the whole entire lore, because there's a lot there. There's an absolute lot, especially for, with those of us that have been here for years. Too many years. Oh my gosh, I've been in it too long. Been in here too long. But if you need to know anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I just don't know. I don't think he's coming back to Canada. I don't think she's going to Malaysia. I just don't know. I don't know who Charlotte is. Is she a new actor? So Charlotte is a reactor over in the drama community that talks about like bombshell and that that thing. I'm not sure what else she's been. She lost her YouTube channel and she went to Kick or Rumble or something like that. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to bash her. Um, so yeah, she's just in a totally different community. There's a couple of people that bounce back and forth from Girl World to here. So, hi, Jojo. Good morning. How are you? So I just been dealing with the Roz because it seems like a more, exciting storyline. She's not going to go to Malaysia. She's not going to Malaysia. I saw that she went and she rented a car. Like it's payday, she rents a car. Like, like we got paid and we're like, okay, we gotta pay and blah 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 blah. I said, I guess we're not going on a date. Cause, our car insurance went up. And we had to go food shopping. Like, that's it. In this day and age, people if you're a responsible adult, you're paying your bills and going food shopping and you're lucky you get gas money. It's ridiculous what's happening in the economy right now. Ridiculous. I sent the girls a picture like a couple of months ago. I paid $2.38 for a gallon of gas. It's over $4 now. And I know over in the West Coast, you guys are like you've always been at $4. Can I said I'm the OG girl. Well, Luke, I mean, if they need, hi, Granny. Oh, it's good to see you back. I hope all is well with you. Sometimes you need to take a step back, just let the dust settle, and then, peek your head in. Thank you for coming in. I'm glad to see you. So, there's that. Hopefully, Roz and the Rems stay together. We're not sure. Tater, I haven't seen you in the Roz. Are you not into the Roz anymore? You're just in the other part because you know who's really got herself involved in the girl worlds. Your favorite person. I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. She messed with Maloma. I didn't like her to begin with because when I was like tied up with the Texas girl thing, I didn't like I got a icky feeling from her and I was brand new to this area. So I had an ick from the very, very beginning. Um we're gonna get there, Luke. There's a lot happening over there in the UK's. Yeah, I just need to take a break. I'm busy being retired. Granny, they say when you're retired, it's the busiest time of your life. My grandmother used to tell me that all the time. She's like, I don't know how I got things done when I worked because I'm more busy when I'm retired than I was when I was working. Almost 5 in Arizona. I've paid mortgage, so I've paid my admission to stay here all month. Sorry. I know. That's us. We paid like it's and this HOA, it's half my mortgage. It's $570 a month with these friggin' assessment fees. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then for the first time, they finally came out and cut the lawn because it was like, knee high. We got a new contractor. Ugh, I don't watch more of anything. I'll stick to my metal detecting. Well, Tater, it's getting on your season where you're going to be able to walk the beach and do that. I'm gonna see pictures of the things that you find because you got to find like some really fascinating stuff. You know. So anyway, we're just watching things unfold and, that kind of thing. You're so happy you don't. I'm telling you. So if you think about it, like I was single when I moved in the house and like to buy a freestanding home, I'd have to worry about the roof and like the landscaping and all of that stuff. And I can't go out there. I got too many allergies. Yeah, I would have hired somebody, whatever. So Mr. Kazi's like, when we leave, like we're gonna get a house, like because we can always hire someone to cut the lawn. That's bonkers, right? I took my granddaughter to visit Murray State University in Kentucky. It's so lovely down there. Is it? I don't know where that is, but I'm sure it is, and I'm sure she loves the fact that she's got a memory with her grandma. I think I'm going to dispute my tax assessment this year. Did I hear this? Run. That was the other thing. I mean, we got a couple of bucks back, and like nothing to write home about. It didn't even cover the HOA. Let's just put it that way. You know, you work your ass off all year, and then you don't get anything. It is a lot of money, that I know. But I don't have to deal with, all of the rules that they have here. And every time I turn around, there's another rule. I just found out I'm only allowed to have 2 cats. So what are you going to do? Come in my house and tell me to like pick one? You're going to pick one? Because over my dead body, will you take one of my cats? They want to know the cat's names and everything. Like, and I get it. Like, get the description of the animal in case it gets out. And like, the neighborhood's always like, hey, you got your dog. Did anybody lose their dog? It's over here, blah, blah, blah. But you ain't taking one of my cats. It's just not going to happen. No, we don't have parking spot. Like, we don't have lane, parking spot. Like the lines that still hasn't happened. So we're very far off from leaving the house for a very long time. So Stephanie, I'm going to live vicariously through you. Make your own rules. I'm not allowed to have 3 cats, but the guy across the way can be like somewhat hoarder on his front lawn and drive me bonkers every time I open my door. Yes, Jarella, yes. Now, what I will say about this HOA is there's no rule on dogs. Like, you can have any kind of dog. So we see German Shepherds, we see Pitties, Rottweilers. Like, there's no, rule, because a lot of areas in Jersey, like apartment complexes and HOAs, don't allow certain dogs. So that, for the dog lovers here, is a good thing. They can, walk their dog and stuff like that. You got $2 back? I mean, $2 is $2, but where the hell you going with that? The $1.50 store? And most of this stuff's not $1.50 anymore. It's like $3, $5. I'm like, what the? I mean, the stuff I get Mr. Kazi is dessert cups and like, utensils or whatever for work. Yeah, I know. The one apartment that I did live in, gosh, it was like 10 years ago. They didn't have a rule on breeds. They didn't have a breed rule. So that was like everybody was trying to get into there. And they were strict on your credit score, which was good because everybody was trying to get in because they were the only one in the area that didn't have the breed rule. But then you don't want people, just that was a nice little area. And that apartment was huge. That apartment was huge. But it's like $1,700 now. I hate the dollar store. We have a pit and a pit mix and 2 cats and a parakeet. Going to be fun to move. They're going to be fine. The cats are going to hide. Just let them hide in the corner. Even if it's for 2 days, they're going to hide. They're going to come out. They're going to need the box. They're going to need they ain't going to poop in the corner. For crying out loud, Jack and Harley, they were like curled up together behind a box. And I'm like, are you guys going to come out? They didn't eat for 2 days and didn't use the box for 2 days. I'm like, all right, whatever. You'll come out. This is our home now. I bought the freaking house for you. I have a mortgage for you little brats. It's your money they withheld. It's not like extra money. I know. There's so many, like, there's so much to gripe about, but then there's so much to be grateful for. Wake up every morning and I give thanks that I was woken up and, keep the enemy away. Put joy in my heart. Of course, I pray for Mr. Kazi. But I give thanks that I was able to sleep with a roof over my head in a bed with blankets. Like those little things are a blessing. Next couple of months, we're selling the ranch to move to Louisiana in retirement. The ranch is getting too much out here with the people moving in from California. Wow, you're moving too? Jeez, oh man, good luck with that. What are you going to do with the animals? I called my homeowner's insurance when they were considering getting a dog years ago. He said if I got a pit bull or pit bull type, they'd cancel my policy. What? I just found out. I'm spitting all over myself. I just found out that in this, well, no, I didn't just find out. My cousin has like, she's got all girls in Pennsylvania and in New Jersey. If you get a trampoline, like one of those trampolines, you have to pay. Your homeowners goes up. You have to pay for that. And I get it, like all the accidents and stuff like that, but like you're being penalized for having a trampoline for your kids. You got California migration fatigue. So many people have moved. Really? They're moving to Tennessee? But having a mortgage means you're blessed and you're able to have, listen, for the longest time I was paying someone else monthly to live in their facility, right? Now I'm investing back into myself. Each time we make that mortgage payment, it's an investment back into ourselves because we have an asset, even though we don't own it. And we never will because we're always going to pay property tax, which is a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, so we're investing back in ourselves. You had to pay a pit bull tax? We don't have that here in Drews. Well, I wonder why. California, no offense. No offense out there to you California girls, because I got a few. But it's a little bonkers out there. I was talking to a friend and she was telling me about like we were talking about dentals, like we were just talking about, she was asking me questions, like she had something that she had to have done. We were just talking. And we were talking about the insurances. And she was telling me what you guys are offered out there. And I'm like, Jersey, you get everything. You get everything. And then it pissed me off even more because these people aren't showing up for their appointments. Yes, Stephanie, you're investing back in yourself. California likes to make fun of the South and Newsom wants to be president, but everyone is leaving their state. Yeah, I don't know about that Newsom guy. California? Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, I think the pit bulls get a bad rap. It's the owner. I really do believe animals adapt to the owner's personality. Like my cats, they just want to lay around and eat and be cuddly. But I'm not like cuddly, but it's on their terms, like me. I just want to lay around, eat, and everything's on my terms. I mean, I don't shit on the floor. However, and like most of my friends have pit bulls, and I friggin' love pit bulls. I love boxers too. Boxers and pit bulls are my favorite. Huskies are hilarious because they're just so dramatic. We've had one in my life. And yeah, we have New Yorkers everywhere. I'm not bitching. We are from the north, probably moving back up after this year. We're old. Tater, you're going to move back up there where it's cold? You don't get everything in Jersey. I hate it. No. I mean, listen, I'm here from, like, I'm close to Philly. I'm here. I've been here my whole life, but I'm ready for a change. Never an issue. Well, I can understand why you hate Jersey then, Luke. I'm sorry to hear that that was your North Jersey and South Jersey are 1000% completely different, and we should be a North Jersey and a South Jersey. We should be a separate state. We should definitely be a separate state. We stick with Chihuahuas because Hubs doesn't like big dogs. I love all dogs. They're like really hyper and well, not as hyper as Jack Russell, but they're definitely little. Tater's got a Chihuahua too, right? They're like, you can like carry them around, and they just like, they got little dog syndrome. Is that what it's called? Napoleon syndrome. We'll throw a fit. Um, is it too sticky to do? No, Granny. We have been back and forth with an idea. We're trying to figure out what we want to do. It's going to return. We're just trying to work out the kinks. Mini pins are way more wired. Yeah, like the little dogs. I like dogs too. Mr. Kazi wants a German Shepherd. He's always wanted a German Shepherd. So if we buy a house, one thing I know for sure is that at any given moment, a German Shepherd's going to walk through the door. Thank you, Granny. Mary's the best dog. They are different. Oh, Yorkie, Chihuahua mix. Chihuahua's bird. The dog got a bird. You got a scary cat? Yeah, let me tell you something. Jack, this little bugger, I always have to do the math. It was 13, 15, 17. So 2013, 2015, and 2017 is when I got these bozos, right? Coco in 13, Harley 15, Jack in 17. He is just now coming out to me. He comes up every morning. Whether my alarm goes off or not, he's coming up, headbutting me, wants love. He's never done that before. Now all of a sudden he's getting older, and I think the old man realizes if it weren't for me, he would have, because he was an outside cat. And I heard their life expectancy is like 2 years. So he's well past his prime. It is the owner, but the dogs can be badly bred. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, behavioral problems. Well, look, I got a problem. I got a cat with a problem right now. They're German shepherds are diggers. Yeah, but that's what he wants. They're trainable. They are trainable. You'll probably never leave Tennessee unless New Yorkers and Californians keep pushing out the locals. I have to live out in the middle of nowhere, and those places are sadly disappearing. You have a bias against them. I mean, again, like, it's all based on how they're trained. And I mean, they're canine, they're cop dogs. They're little coppers, I tell you. Did I tell you I fell for the April Fool's joke? I normally I'm on like high alert when it's April Fool's because I'm like it's childish. It drives me nuts that day. So I'm looking and like it was like I thought that this was I was pissed I fell for the April Fools, and then it was an AI. So I got double whammied, right? But they had like this story was like, this police station adopted a cat, and they made it an honorary cop, and it was called like it's called something because like they found the catnip, like they found somewhere where there was like weed or whatever. And like, I was like sitting there thinking, like, that's cute. They made the cat an honorary cop. Gave it a little badge and everything. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, this is awesome. And I'm like, I'm gonna share this with the people because it was a local police station. Then I read the comments and they're like, this is AI, blah blah blah, April Fools. And I'm like, Are you serious? I fell for that? Like, I'm an idiot. I fell for a cat becoming a cop. Oh, I know it's puzzling. Well, Coco's got she's the guy. I don't know if she's just been like throwing up. It's not the other end. I was gullible. I thought that tabby cat got a friggin' badge and this is awesome. And I'm like, oh, that's right. It's April Fool's. And AI made it look real. I was pissed. I think I was more pissed off at the AI. So listen, I was talking to this doctor, right? I was just talking to a doc and seeing how his office works and that sort of thing. We were talking about posting payments, like not payments that the patient gives you because you are physically there and you take the payment and you put it in. Like the insurance is like an EFT, so it automatically gets deposited into the bank account. You get the slip that says this is how the insurance claim was paid out. Blah blah blah. I'm sure you all know. He said he has AI doing his posting, and there's no human error whatsoever. He's not had a problem with. I said, "You're telling me that AI is posting your payments? That is scary because my job is absolutely going to become uh obsolete. I have dedicated my entire soul to the dental field and in dental insurance, and now they're telling me AI is taking over. Like, what the frig? Well, Lady Autumn, if you had to leave Tennessee, where are you going to go? Do you know a state you're going to go? Because me and Mr. Kazi were talking about like South Carolina. I'm not doing Florida. I'm not going to Florida. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bachelorettes. Everybody I know goes there for their bachelorette party or girls' weekend. And, you see them hooting and hollering. And it's like that one main drag that, like, most people are going to. But I can imagine it would be annoying. I'll just leave a message letting you know. I love Luke. I think there's a couple of people that they may not have Luke lore, but of course, I like when you come over here and you break our balls. It's okay. You're fine. South Dakota, a place with wide open spaces. Okay, I never thought about that. You're sick of AI? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Stephanie, I think AI is going to be a problem because, well, let's just say I think it's like kind of, I'm not going to go as harsh as saying it's the Antichrist, but it is definitely, I think, an illegal because they're actually, let's talk about this Coachella. Coachella's every year. And the influencers go out there and they're like, taking the pictures and doing all of the things. Justin Bieber headlined this one. He got paid $10 million to do Coachella. Now it's a musical festival, so it's a few days and da 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 da. They're out there getting sick on pizza and everything. It's like ridiculous. But all that to say that there are some influencers over there on the tickers that are actually AI. They're not real people. They are AI. So the person that is like running that channel is using an AI like person, and they're getting paid like all kinds of money for someone that one they are not. So I mean their creativity, okay, I get it. But they're like actually making people think that this, like, say her name's Kimikaze. We all know that I'm here, right? We all know I'm real. But say, like, there's just over there, it's AI. You're never going to meet this person. They're never going to make a public appearance because they're AI. You got family retired to South. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's exactly it. So anytime I see, and like a younger person, our waiter. our waiter down, or server, sorry, I'm old. Our server down at the Cape Maze. We're like, we're thinking he's young. He's like, I'm really tired. So he says, I'm tired. He just let us know he's tired. We were his first table, or maybe his second. He's like, I went golfing this morning. And I was like, that's nice, whatever. He's like, yeah, but I had a few too many last night. And I started laughing because I was like, all right, this guy, he's just letting us know all of his business. So we were talking, and I just like, he's like in his, he's a young kid. So you think that that's like what he's doing. Like, I just assumed he was going to school. And I was like, are you going to school? And he's like, kind of. And I was like, all right, I didn't want to pry. And, we pried more. We found out that he was an apprentice for HVAC. And then I got so excited for him. I'm like, I love hearing that because the trades are never going to stop. Your pipes are always going to need to be fixed. Your window, like the trades, like we got to get these kids in trade school. Like people are always going to want their hair cut, Like here I am in an admin position and I'm going to be taken over by the devil. My opinion, allegedly, conspiracy theory, all that, blah, 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 blah. Salesforce laid off thousands of software developers because AI was doing the code. Yep. You had to ask Google if Madonna went to Coachella. They're over there. They like dress up and they're sitting there trying to get the perfect pics and all. I'm so glad I grew up in a time where I had to like drop my photos off and wait 2 weeks for it, and then that it was an instant. I mean, like, if you pull out your book of photos, you wish that you were able to do a takeover and delete that one. But I'm glad I didn't live in a world where everything was internet related. It sucks. If my podcast was written by AI, no, it's me. Look for the random kitty and the dog showing up and bugging me in the middle of that. Nico, you have a podcast? Let us know what the podcast is. I didn't know that. The fake world, that's exactly what it is. I've implemented in my house only DVDs on the weekend if you want to watch something. No apps or YouTube for the kids. And on the Sabbath and Sundays. That's like the best thing. That's the best thing. Now here's the deal. Me and Mr. Kazi are both very, very guilty of it. But I think that we should have no social media downtime. I think that we should definitely do that. And it's always my fault because he asked me, do you want to play Yahtzee? Do you want to play Uno? And then I'm like, I'm not really in the mood. But I really do think that we should spend a couple of hours playing like a board game, doing something like that because it's definitely important. Like when we went down, like when he's like, we're just getting lost, he's like, where do you want to go? So, all right. Let's to be fair. So he thought that I was going to bail on him, right? And I'm like, no, in fact, I like checked the weather and I'm like, maybe we can go down the shore, because we didn't really know where we were going to go. We thought we were just going to go out to eat and come home. And I was like, well, why don't we make a day of it? Because it's like, but I did not communicate that with him. He assumed that I didn't want to do anything. He got in the shower and we had like, we had a meeting and I said, no, I wanted to go out. So anyway, I jump in the shower. We did like, the blah, blah, blah. We get in the car and he's asked me where you want to go. I said, I'm not doing this because if I say something and you have a different idea, then it's going to be like, you're going to do what I want to do. You drive the car and go wherever you want. I'm in the car. He's like, okay. So we're driving along, and then I'm like, well, we could go like to the Pennsylvania because we kind of like got on the wrong road. It was just a whole big thing the whole time. I'm like, how are we doing this? Like, why did we miss that exit? I'm like, maybe we're supposed to go to Philly. He's like, no, 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 we'll turn around. So we went all the way around, turned around, and we headed towards the shore. So we were on like it's the Garden State Parkway, right? So that, like, you keep going straight and it's going to land you right into Atlantic City, or you get off at like the exits before Atlantic City. So we're we're driving down and I see a sign for Wawa. If you guys don't know what a Wawa is, it's like a gas station where you can use the restroom and it's got like convenience store. So I said, well, the Wawa's to the left, but he went to the right. And so we're like, all right, well, we'll just plug in a Wawa. They're everywhere. We'll plug in a Wawa. So we found one. It was a couple miles down the road. So we got there. It's a pot store, right? It's now it's like a vape store with the cannabis. I said, well, I guess I ain't going to the bathroom there. I said, when we got off the exit, it said left. So let's just make a left and keep going down. It'll be like a couple of miles down, past the exit. So we get to the mall. It's another cannabis store. I said, you know what? Let's just get on the road and go. This is not an emergency at this time. We will find something. So we kept going. We kept going. We kept going. We kept going. We're in the middle of the woods, and then we're looking and we were enjoying ourselves because it was like it wasn't woods. It was like just like Lady Autumn said, like she just wants to be out there where like there's your neighbors aren't on top of you, right? It was a nice little drive. Like we wound up like accidentally getting lost. We weren't lost, but you know what I mean. We took the long way. We took the scenic route. So we finally find a Wawa. I said, dude, you're going to stop at this one. You got to stop at this one because we're not sure if we're going to find another one. So we get out, we got some snacks because we didn't know how much longer it was going to be. We had a really good time, and it was like we weren't on our phones. We were just talking with one another. It was, we were talking about like what we were saying and all of that stuff. We weren't talking about bills and work and everything like that. We were just excited and just, enjoying it. And that's why I told him I want to do that again. I want to date you. Family photos. Like, no, they don't take family photos. Kimmy, we have a jiu-jitsu tourney today. Send good vibes. All right. I don't know, like, I don't know the terms, but, high chops. Don't get hurt. When they're 18, that's Mr. Kazi. He would tell everybody that you're not allowed to have, he would tell our children they're not allowed to have social media or a phone. He would definitely do that. He would be more stern than I was. You make the rules so you can watch Caturday. Aww. Okay, okay, family. It's me reading my mystery stories I write as an unpublished author. The mouse says, the butler didn't do it. I own a secondary story of series. Look under Nico Shear. All right, well, I'm not on. Is it on YouTube? You do your thing? I want to see it. I want to see it. Let me just close that so I don't have any. Ooh, 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 ooh. Chapter 1 through 5? Is that what you're talking about? Hold on, let's see. Or you're just reading chapters 1 through 5. It's just the one video. Is that what you're doing? The butler didn't do it. He just wanted the butts. Luke, we're serious. We're gonna get Nico over here. We want to find out what she's doing on the tubes. Nico, if that's what you're doing, I think that that's awesome. I think it's awesome when everybody wants to do something creative with their channel. You know? I was gonna get into the shits, like, like when I first started, I was gonna like I reacted to foodie, and then, like we were gonna do the no madness thing, but like 1,000 being real, the more I like, the more I'm into the Book of Genesis and like listening to my pastor over the last few years, Like, we're not supposed to gossip. We come on here and we talk about things and stuff like that, news stories like the Diddy and all that. But, like, to, like, do reactions to, like, No Madness or, Roz, I'll watch it and I'm not supposed to, but I can't in my heart talk about them. I could talk in the chat, but I can't, I can't do that. Like, I feel yucky. I feel yuck. Thanks, Tater. I was gonna do that. I just wanted to make sure that that's where she wanted to be shared. That's why I asked if it was YouTube. And it could be havoc with the kitties and yeah, 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 yeah. But that's awesome. Everybody loves animals. Well, most people love animals. So I just want to tell you this because I was going to tell you how to corn muffin today, and Mr. Kazi's listening. I definitely don't want to shop right corn muffin anymore. It might have just been that one, but did you guys ever have a Sam's or BJ's corn muffin? I'm never going to get a corn muffin like that. I actually have to literally go to Sam's or BJ's to get a corn muffin but then you got to get 18. I'm trying to find that particular, the way they make it, and I can't find it. I can't even make it homemade. Okay, Teets, she's always cooking. Tater, I have questions for you too. I just bought for the first time ever. I bought a skirt steak, and I'm looking on Pinterest to find out different recipes. And apparently, it's like fajita, but I want to see like if there are any other options for me because I don't want to do fajitas. Anyway, you get to cooking for the hubs. Store bought cornbread is never good. I know. Is the Diet Kroger. So yeah, I told him you're going to the store. I said, I want a corn muffin. I know like, listen, I can have whatever I want. I wanted a corn muffin because yesterday, guess what I ate? I was all by myself at the desk yesterday and it was, anarchy. Um, I had coffee in the morning. I treated myself to coffee yesterday too. I bought a coffee. Um, and then I came home and I opened my lunch bag and I said, look at what I ate today. And I pulled out my little jar of oats, my little jar of I took the some taco meat, and I pulled out my grapes. And my husband's like, "You didn't eat yesterday." I said, "No, I didn't have time. I didn't have time. In fact, I clocked out for 20 minutes at lunch and stayed at my desk and continued to work." So, um, I came home and I was like, I just am so stressed out. I wasn't hungry. But I had to get something because I started to feel, like, shaky. I had a protein bar. That's what I ate yesterday. So today I woke up and I said, "I want a corn muffin. I'm in the mood for a corn muffin. Please get me one." So that's all I've eaten, and, it's always sweet. Sweet cornbread is wrong. Jarella, you don't like sweet cornbread? What? What do you put jalapenos in yours? How you doing your cornbread? I like sweet cornbread. Is that because I'm from the North? Go to Wegmans. Um, who told me it starts out with a New Hope Thanksgiving mystery as chapters. She's to escape to a New Hope. All right, I'm gonna check it out. I'll listen to it while I'm doing the cooking. Okay, we'll stop that. No working off the clock, and that's how they start taking advantage of it. Lady Autumn, 1000% totally agree with you, but I had to get stuff done and it was quiet time and I didn't have a chaos coordinator sitting next to me asking me 1,000 questions and like interrupting my time. 1000% totally agree with that, but there was absolutely nothing I could do yesterday about that. We don't do that down here. No sweet cornbread. It's all up north. But I want to know. I want to know how the South cornbread is. Because if I come down there and I get cornbread, I want to know what to expect. Because I'll be shoving it in my face thinking I'm going to get something sweet. I thought cornbread was supposed to be right. Stephanie, so did I. I thought it was supposed to be sweet too. For crying out loud, if I make a cornbread casserole, I got all the corns in there with sugar. It's savory. Okay, I'm still not picturing it. It's not like cake. No. So savory to me would be like, I don't know. I don't know how to, I don't know if I am imagining how that would be. I mean, I just love cornbread. I like the texture and everything like that. So I'm sure I'd like it. All right. Is it flaky or is it moist? Is it moist cornbread? All right. Let me go here. Wait, Nico, where'd you go? Oh, I can't. Hold on. Let me see. Hold the wire. Ah, let's pull it up. Subscribe there. You guys can't see my. Okay, so the channel's called The Mouse Says the Butler Didn't Do It. Okay, so let me drop the link for you. Oh, yeah, you got more there. Copy. Okay. There you go. That's the channel you want. Okay, where are we at? Cornbread also doesn't have corn in it. Well, mine does. Yeah, it's kind of. Luke, I made it in a cast iron skillet. Nah, it's flaky and moist. I just got a cast iron skillet delivered to me this morning. I'm very excited to make the beef tips in this thing. I am very excited about this. While I'm making his chicken cutlets, I'm gonna put it in the oven and let it do its seasoning. And then we're gonna use it for the steak tips. So I'm very excited about this. And I've been buying myself some like not New York strips, but like some steaks for myself so that I can make that for the week. Mr. Kazi will want one too, but um like if you got biscuits and a bit into and tasted sugary sweet, you'd be like yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I've seen jalapenos and cheddar in the cornbread, and I thought, it's not flaky pastry, it's loose crumb to it. Okay. Okay. Well, it's cornmeal, Stephanie. That's what it is. It's like, it's gritty. So do you guys have like the Jif packages? Like they're like 50 cents up here for a box. It's got the corn bread mix. Like you can make corn muffins, but it's got cornmeal in it. So I'm thinking like, could I use that? Do I have to? It's not like straight corn. I guess not. It's not straight cornmeal. I can get cornmeal. You're welcome, Nico. Nico, you're not old, you're seasoned, and it's something that you're doing. It is your hobby that you're putting out there for everyone else to see. So stop that right now. Look at me, for crying out loud. I just brushed my teeth and put a robe on and sit down and talk to you guys. Kentucky, Kentucky Derby is next weekend. I have to read up on my horses. Huh, my gosh, I'm slacking. Mexican cornbread is my fave with teeny diced peppers and whatnot. Okay. I want to make, yes, definitely has to be medium. They exist, but they don't buy them. I've never seen those brands, Jarella. That's what Luke just said. Uh, I like that brand too, Info. Oh, Lilith, you're still here. Not enough to notice. I just have my same fascinator. We can do it. Me and Mr. Kazi can hop on next Saturday night and just like, we still have the bourbon from last year because remember he wanted to do the mint julep. We actually have mint, right? And we still have the bourbons. So I'll just make the simple syrup before we go live, before I actually, because I messed that up. So we can have our mint juleps. We have the ingredients. We'll have that friggin' bottle of bourbon. Well, we'll probably dump it out. But well, if like alcohol doesn't go bad, right? Like bourbon, does that go bad? Because it's supposed to age over time, but because it's open, it's going to go bad. Do I have that wrong? Because I'm not a brown liquor drinker. Tiny rant. YouTube is a bunch of dumbasses. Now the pinned comment is at the bottom. I know. It's interfering with chat. Okay, thank you. You can dismiss the comment. Like if you click on the three little dots, you can dismiss it. I was in a chat with Jarella the other day and I was getting ready to type something, and all of a sudden this dancing DJ cat, like an animated dancing DJ cat came on, and I froze because I'm like, am I seeing this? Did something happen to me? Because I had never seen that before, and it was in near the chat bar. I'm like, all right, this is weird. So I had to ask the question in chat. I was like, sorry to derail, but did anybody else just see the dancing DJ cat? And Jarella answered. She said, yeah, it's like something they're trying to like integrate like TikTok. Maybe she didn't say it, but she acknowledged that she saw it too. And I thought, all right, I thought that like my iced tea was spiked. What, the Kentucky Derby? Yeah, 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 yeah. Good, Nico. Bourbon does not go bad. Okay, Chick K9, I'm going to believe you with all your shenanigans. I'm going to believe you. Big animated, get rid of that immediately. Terrell, I literally thought that because I was so stressed out, I was starting to hallucinate. I got very concerned. I said, "What the frick?" I mean, it was cute as can be. It was like it was a cat DJ, and I thought that that was really cute. But I'm like, okay. And Flo, did you ever see it? Did you ever see the DJ cat? That's indeed it was. I'm gonna put it in the Discord because I screenshotted it because I wanted to make sure that I captured what I thought was a hallucination. So I took a screenshot of it. It covered the whole freaking chat. It will. It will take away from the chat. And when you're in Ashley's chat, that like not only is she entertaining, but the freaking chat's funny too. You know? I watched Roz through her and Nikki, and then Scrange. But sometimes Scrange is on the same time as, well, they're all sometimes on the same time. So I kind of bounce back and forth. But see, here's my thing with Scrange, Charlotte. Um, like I didn't think that I was like welcomed because of like a whole bunch of other stuff, like with the Ariel like nonsense and like Ricky Mork and stuff like that. So that's when I met her, and I thought that like I wouldn't be acknowledged, or not acknowledged, but welcomed. So I was just like, I saw you in there, and I was like, all right, I'll go in there because I do like watching like different reactors, like opinions, and ways of going about it. But I was hanging over there in Ashley's or the other day. Sent a turtle and it covered the whole chat. It's stupid. Ugh. she, she makes me laugh, man. She totally. I know it's a chill chat, but you know how sometimes there are people like you know how like things go. But I definitely do, and, like, I just wanna stick to that. I don't wanna be involved in the drama because, honestly, it's I got enough drama at work, and I wanna come on YouTube and just, like, for shits and gigs. You know what I'm saying? Just for the shits and gigs. But she does seem like a chill chat over there. So, I'm just keeping myself out of trouble. Yeah, right? People don't come on anymore because of the nonsense. Edna over there quit. I'm like, oh my gosh, Edna quit again. When you need a mental break, you take the mental break and because it's not worth it. Yes. Holds, please. I had to mute because, excuse me, Mr. Ella, can you come to the front of the class? Mr. Kazi is asking your advice, and everybody is more than welcome to give us your opinions, but he's back in physical therapy. I feel as though they may be working him too hard, but I'm not a physical therapist. He's really in a lot of pain. In fact, I didn't want to tell him this, but he woke me up this morning when he winced. He doesn't wince, so I knew he was in pain, and he still trudged through and went to the store because he needed to get his water that was on sale. Anyway, his question to Mr. Ella is, do you know of an ice pack? Because he feels like he's getting, like, not freezer burned, right? Like, ice burned. Do you know of an ice pack that he could use that he's not going to get that? He's wrapping it in a towel, so it's not ice on skin. I know, like, I went on Pinterest and I could see, like, I can make my own ice pack. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's got some, like, alcohol in it and water and all that stuff. It doesn't freeze like a rock hard thing. So he wanted me to ask you. Apparently, you're our PT and our gym person and our nutritionist. Get a gel pack. That's what I have a recipe to make, like a gel type kind of thing. So I'll make him that up today. I'll go down when we're done here. I'll go make him that. So it'll be frozen for him to put his feet up and enjoy his Flyers game. Caturday chat's the best. Oh, Nico, we love you. We just, listen, it's just a way to, like, a lot of people just fire up a channel just for people to come in and chat because they're bored and, they want to talk. Gel packs are a little more easy on you. Insurance should pay for it. Oh, look at who decided to come. You want to tell everybody that you're pooping all over your mother's new rug downstairs? No? No? We're not going to acknowledge that? Okay. Well, there she is, proof of life. Psst, say hello. Ocean. Ocean, you haven't seen her in forever. You think that, that I didn't have any, she's been abandoning us. You have not been with us in quite a while. And that's not nice. That's not nice. Weirdo. I'm here just to talk. Yeah, you know how sometimes you just open up, you don't have to, like, we don't have topics here. I did want to ask you guys. I'm still learning about this. I don't really know what's going on, but I find it interesting. And for some reason, there's, like, a couple of creators that have, like, stories on it. But did you guys hear about these 11 missing scientists? like over the past like course of a year or whatever. Like just these like NASA and like nuclear scientists have just gone missing mysteriously. Have you heard about this? Does anybody know about this story? Harley, we're not going to play the game. It's actually been a couple of months that you've been here. So we're not actually going to play this game. Okay. You're going to stay here or you're going to go, but you're not going to keep coming up and going. You're like a child. If he's having a lot of acute pain from PT, I hope he's letting that know. That's what I said. Yeah, he's wincing. That's what I told him. I said, definitely, tell them that they may be pushing you too hard. Because he did have a major surgery. Like they had to reattach his Achilles. But they also got the script from the doctor, so they know what they're doing. You guys have heard of it? It's an it's an ongoing story, increasingly troubling. They don't want the truth. Tater, that's what I was like. So I've been like just kind of I recently just found out about it. I'm like, what's going on there? And apparently they wanted to like they were going to talk about it like Trump has like said that this is going to be an ongoing investigation. I don't know, that's just what I heard in passing. But the main story is oh, now like seriously her name just left my mind. The reporter's mom that's still missing. That was the main story in the news. Instead of these, there's always they put something major in the news, and that's major. Put something major in the news when something else is bigger, happening behind the scenes. Two sentences. Yes. Right. The one Hattie's Nancy Guthrie. Thank you. I was going to say Nancy, and then I was going to say Drew Frey, but Drew Frey is the one from Epstein. Um, and her name's Victoria, right? I was got the first and last names mixed up. Yeah, the one dude like left and put his Apple iWatch in the mailbox and disappeared. Another one left and left his cigarettes behind. And I don't know about you smokers out there or reformed smokers like me, but if I forgot my smokes, I turned right around and went to the house to get my smokes. A guy I know popped his Achilles completely and had to scoot around on one of those kneeling scoots after it was attached. No, we had that. We had the scooter. We did have the scooter for 2 months. We used that. Okay. So if you're listening, babe, Drilla said a guy I know popped his Achilles completely and had to scoot around on one of the kneeling scooties after it was reattached. He didn't have pain like that in PT. So that message is for you. It's worrisome. Like I've been worried. But then I'm like, you haven't used it. I don't want to like be too mother, but I told him, I said, maybe you're going too hard. And so he hasn't used his foot. And then the one time he went like 2 days in a row. He's got to do it 3 times a week. And I was like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, give yourself a day in between the rest. So he's finally on a regular routine. But I don't know. He's very he's miserable. I said it when it first happened. It was like, we've been in the mountains from a heartbeat, but they can't find an old woman. Yeah, right? They can't find her. But these scientists that worked like in NASA and were working on like nuclear stuff that had high like thoughts today for me. High clearance in the government. These people are missing. What the frig? Tendons or assholes, Jarella said. So there are two that they know died. The one guy, it's the one girl the one that the young girl that passed. I believe they said that that was in 2022. and there were like it was like shady. The story behind her death was a little shady. I think they um marked it as a self delete, and then the guy who like his wife said that they like made eye contact, everything was fine, she had no idea that anything was wrong. He went and took a walk, wound up at near a lake. The lake was half frozen. By the time they found him, the lake was completely frozen, so they had to wait for that to thaw out. I'm like, what is going on here? I gotta find out more. I gotta ask the Caturday crew if they know. Oh, he needs collagen. Okay. Neat. Takes a little bit. We figured it would take a little bit of time to heal. And he's older, so that has he had his other foot on, and then like, a few years ago, but that was just the bone spur. This is the tendon. My first thought when I hear about mysterious deaths or disappearances, look, I'm always, we got like allegedly in our opinion, conspiracy theory, all that, blah, 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 blah. We got a cat wearing a tinfoil hat. Brad, if you're listening, we know that you're getting ready to retire. If you haven't retired, because I knew we were counting down. So I hope you're out there partying it up and enjoying things. Um, I can't talk about the two in my city because, yeah, but it was extremely sus. Yeah, no, you know, you've always been an enigma. We want you to stay that way. That's really weird. That is definitely really, really, really weird. I am. You are not our Brad. Ah, Brad. Speak of Brad, and there he is. I thought you were in the background, and I hope that you are. It's just tell me how many days are we there? How many days? Hypnosis and mind control. So Tater, remember we did that whole thing about MK Ultra, and like that was all like around the entertainers and stuff like that. It started with the government. Why wouldn't they do it with the people in the working up there in space and in the nukes, in the nuclear stuff? That's wild. Hold on, what did I miss? My thought, yeah. I just read another NASA scientist dies. This time it was Jamie Tafel alone with his family in a plane crash. This is coming a day after UFO researcher David Wilcox supposedly took himself out. What? 5 days to go. Oh my word. Brad, I'm going to put this down. In 5 days from now, 5 days, Brad, I'm going to find you like the most beautiful cheesecake picture I can, and I'm going to put it on the community post to like wish congratulations. Because I won't be live in 5 days. But I did remember that it's soon. MK Ultra is so messed up. There's another scientist that's missing in New Mexico as well. He went for a hike, but left his phone and his watch at home. Right. They're just poof, gone. And then the one girl that was like with her friend hiking, um, they were just like, well, they were hiking, and I heard he was from his story, he was ahead of her. He turned around to check on her, and she like smiled and waved like she was okay. And then he turned around again and she was gone. Like just gone. What? I don't know. Her live's still up, but Raven Star did a big live on MK Ultra, and it was insane. I've read about it, but there was yeah. It is wild. Just don't come south till we get some rain. Florida and Georgia are on fire. Stay safe. Stay safe, Brad. Some people. Wait, I can't even read it there. Oh, but you're blue here. Um, leave your phone at home or your family gets it. Yeah, I gotta read this story. I need to know what's going on because one, they started talking about how like in the beginning of the year, was it the beginning of the year that Trump said he was going to release the files on the UFO stuff? Like if we all kind of agree that we probably have like UFOs, right? Like I mean, I believe like if God can create Earth, us, everything, like even the little frogs that stick to your windows with the little suction cups on their little toes. Um, 1000% that there's some form of other life. I mean, I'll believe that. I might be a little naive, but I do. And do they have like aliens that they've been keeping captive? I believe anything when it comes to the GOV. Is in a big drought. We're supposed to get some rain next week. If we don't get some deep soil moisture, yeah, rain. Oh, brother. Lizards acting like humans. Well, Britney Spears said that she was talking to a lizard, but then everybody chalked it up to her being like on drugs. And there was another young singer that said he was talking to a lizard. And everybody's like, all right, like they just thought that they were doing the same drugs. Like, you do mushrooms. You do mushrooms, you talk to an elephant and like watch the walls melt and all that stuff. From what I've heard. I don't know, I've never had mushrooms. I've heard it's a wild ride. And in my already paranoid mind, I would not be able to handle a drug that would, make me see things. I thought I saw a dancing DJ cat in chat and was losing my mind, so that tells you all you need to know. You know? It's wild stuff. But I just think that if these people that have gone missing are are privy to information that deals with space, because we've been going up there. I mean, we've always gone up there, but you know what I mean? Like we just went to the moon again after how many years? Whatevs. Um, and are involved in like nuclear weapons, and now we're in the middle of a war. Come on. Come on. Are people that do they think we're that dense? I'm not engaging. No, Jarell, you have to pull your phone out immediately like I did and start recording to prove that you are not needing a white coat. The Gov needs to learn that they can't do things secretly anymore. There are too many independent reporters digging into everything now. Yep. Yo, Hollywood is full of demons doing work for the devil. Oh, we've known that. Unimaginable things. Like the list, like they're throwing out all this stuff, like, and that was the main news story. Poor Nancy, and they still like they're not talking about it anymore. But this stuff was going on. This stuff was happening, and I'm just hearing about it now. And then like the Epstein files come out, and then something like major, like a war breaks out. So you're not really like there are people talking about Swoop. I don't know if any of you guys watch Swoop, the channel. She's really good. She does like documentaries. She just put out an Epstein thing, and her video. She's got like a million subscribers. Her video has been, she put out another community post like, hey, it's getting buried. Like, can you share this for me or at least watch and like it, Because they buried that. They buried it. And she went into great detail of him, not the actual crimes that he committed, but she went into where he started, who got him to where. Because I didn't know he was hired as a college professor. I didn't know that. And the father, the guy that hired him, because they were like, they thought that it was like non-conventional, like to be a professor at the school. It was like a private school up there in New York. Again, the name baffles me. The person that hired him wrote a published book, did not use a pseudonym. Is that what it's called? Or is that what they're called? To, hide the fact that it was him. But his book, his novel, was about uh people being in space, living in the outer space, and having SA with children. It was like this, like this fairy tale book, and that was what the book was about, right? So he hires Jeffrey to put him in there. That guy, the author, had a son who's like political with all like Bush and Trump and all that. And I'm like, oh, this is blowing my mind. I gotta get this. I gotta tell you guys. I gotta show you guys. It was so wild. Nico, I'm gonna put your stuff on in the background when I'm cooking, because I'm gonna, after we're done here, I go down, I'm gonna do the cookings. It's Petty University. Do not judge a book by its cover. She is cool. She is very, very educated. Her name is Swoop, and her channel is called Petty University. But when I tell you this woman puts research into her documentaries, she puts research into it. So, she likes to wear the blue hair. Anyway, so yeah, that's what she was telling us. Like she plotted out the main players because she couldn't get into the actual files, like the deviant files. But there are like sacrifices, and we know the essay, and there's just so much. And then they were talking about like, you know, not cannibalism, but like, just watch her story. Watch her tell the story. Because I'm not good at telling it. That's why she's the professional with a million people. Yeah, it's crazy. Who do you think King Charles is what? Hold on, let me go back because I was looking at that. All right, we're at the lizards. Uh, if you're lizard people, and I'm not talking with them. It is a demon playing around. Dr. G, I subscribe to his channel, Jarella. He does. I have been watching that. You think King Charles is a lizard person? The fact that the stars have been cloning their dogs out in the open for like a decade is scary. What have they accomplished behind closed doors? No, Stephanie, we're talking about current events. It's not dark. It's not dark. Don't get scared. We gotta be alert. If lizards come up to us, we gotta get out our phones and screenshot it so we can prove to one another. Don't get scared. We got to stay alert. But it is disgusting, and there's plenty of evil out there, which is why, let's circle back to the AI thing. I think that AI might be a part of, you know, well, I definitely believe. Listen, it's good because it helps people do certain things, and you can create fun little, like, Mr. Kazi does it all the time. He'll find like like he'll tell it to make some crazy little meme, and he'll send it to my brother. It always got a Pepsi machine in the background and a tomato head or something. I don't know. He's out there finding stuff, right? So like it can be like good, but for the most part, I think it's the devil. I do. I think the internet's the devil, to be honest with you. It just made everybody more heightened and more like stressed out because in the palm of your hand you can open up your phone and see something gross or abuse, and then you just get pissed off and you're angry, and you know the spiel. You know the spiel. You know it. Barbara Streisand cloned her dog. Paris Hilton, Tom Brady. I'm sure there's more. Well, Paris Hilton, like the Hilton family is part of Rothschilds, like that whole umbrella. That's wild. So Tom Brady paid $50,000 to clone his dog. Why are we doing that? But didn't we have, was it Dolly? What did they call it, Dolly? Because it was a llama, and that was the first time we heard about cloning? Or am I making that up? Because that was around the same time I was smoking pot too. So did I make that up? Was there a Dolly, like actual llama that was cloned? Stephanie, I agree. I do the tubes and I just follow like silly reactors or like, I mean serious ones. Um like the shorts on YouTube, I kind of stick to the bakers and that Richard Sales guy who's funny. He reacts to like, wild videos. He's funny. But I don't do the tickers. I have an account, but I'm not active on it. That's where our Olivia went. But I don't go over there. It was just sheep. Okay, I thought it was a llama. So again, I did say that was when I was smoking a lot of pot. So I thought it was a llama, and they were like, Dalai Lama and that kind of thing. And I thought, well, why are they doing that? All right, it was a sheep. Okay, but I was close. Wasn't that the first time they soft launched it to the public that they were cloning people or animals? Ah, there's Steven. Try a little kindness. You know, 1996 was Sally. All right. Well, listen. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, well, 96 is when I was season one with Mr. Kazi. I didn't smoke then. But I was also really thick into the music thing, and I don't think we were really paying attention to the news because we were paying attention to the bands. I don't know. I just remember that. I just remember. And Steven, that's me every day. I am as soon as I walk in the door at work, I'm on. And I mean, I'm kind, but I'm extra like, I go out of my way to like I know people don't want to be at my office. I know. So I have to be like, extra. So by the time I come home, I'm exhausted. My off button goes off and I'm exhausted. But I am. I think that we should all show kindness and then we should all keep ourselves alert too. So anyway, I got to pay more attention to the scientist thing. You know what happened? So Jarella, if you haven't, well, anybody that has an iPhone, if you have an iPhone, you can make like you can make like a little folder. So I made a folder and I call it the junk drawer. So all of like, except for my Instagram and my YouTube, all my other stuff is in the junk drawer. And I purposely put it in the back so that I don't see the little icons when I open my phone so that I'm not going to like the Facebook and the tickers and what else am I on? I forget what else I'm on. I don't have Snapchat. I made an account there. I've never been like, I don't know. I used it like twice. I couldn't figure it out and I said, I'm out. Like my Rumble is in there, but they're all the way in the back, so I don't see the icons, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. I am not on those. Instagram, Pinterest, and the YouTube. That's me. That's me, Terrell. And I'm starting to get all these like new if you guys have the Instagram, they have like, true facts and I'm getting a lot of that, and I'm getting a lot of Gen X things and, like, funny cats. I got a husky thing going on because huskies, again, are dramatic. You touch their paw and they think they're dying. You refuse to use TikTok. Yeah, I'm not. They migrated over to YouTube when they thought that they were being sold and they weren't going to get their money. So now they're over here on the YouTubes. They're shucking the oysters for pearls, and they're, doing the tarot readings and all of that. And I'm like, I don't need this in my feed. I don't want this in my feed. So I just, whatever. But I do make sure I follow the bakers and a couple, like this one girl, her name's Serena. She's out there in, I think she's Utah. No, she's Vegas. She's in Nevada near Vegas. Um, in her 20s, she's married, got a dog. Every day she wakes up, it's an adventure with her husband. She is like, okay. She fills it. She's like, let's fill my car with soup. And when I mean she fills it with like hundreds of cans of soup. And then she takes it to the food pantry. Or she'll just like, I got all these suitcases. Look at, and like, I don't need 9 suitcases. Let's go fill it. And she goes in the store and she'll buy like a bunch of women's stuff, bunch of men's stuff, bunch of like children's stuff, fills the suitcases and takes them to the shelters. She's so cute. I can't not watch her. You have a Twitch? Do I have Twitch? What's Twitch? Isn't that X? Yeah, I'm never on it. And I don't go on there to look either because it's a cesspool. Instagram is like it's curated for you. Like you don't like you it's a personal thing. So I like that social media platform because it is curated for you. It's like when you start liking something, it's gotten a lot of ads on it and a lot of like, companies shucking things. But for the most part, you just like it's just a picture thing. Like, your friends post a picture and I'm like, oh, okay. Exactly. I think I have Twitch account. Wait. Oh, Twitch is I'm thinking Twitter. It's Twitch. Twitch is yeah, I got a Twitch account. Because I was following somebody that used to be my friend, who's not my friend anymore, who's never my friend. Who's on YouTube? I think so. The streamers of stuff. I love her dog. Serena, you're talking about Tater? That girl I follow? And I follow this couple. Her name's Mackenzie, and his name's Michael. And they just like go all over the world, and they have like scavenger hunts. Like he goes on one side of the like whatever country they're in, say Paris. He'll be somewhere, and she'll be another like across the city. And then they have to meet at the Eiffel Tower, and they have to use certain amount of different modes of the transportation. I'm like, these kids, man. Like I would love to do that, but hey, you know what? Let them do it. And it's clean. It's clean content. It's not negative or anything like that. 74-year-old father-in-law loves Facebook. That tells you the I know. I pop on there to see my memories and stuff like that. I tried to avoid it this week because this was the anniversary of my grandmother's passing. So I tried to avoid it this week because it just she was my bestest friend. Now, Mr. Kazi is a very close second. I have no idea on these new things. I have Facebook and I have football with Philly 500. All right. I started with MySpace too. Oh, let them have the Facebook. My girlfriend's mom's on the Facebook, and she's funny because every day she's at a restaurant. Every single day she's at a restaurant. She's meeting up with her sisters. She's meeting up with her friends. She's going out with her daughter, like my friend. I just think it's awesome. I'm like, look at her out there, and she'll post a picture of like martini. I'm like, God, get it. You deserve it. You worked your whole entire life. Shit, that woman worked hard. That woman worked hard. I never heard of LiveJournal. Listen, nobody's going to tell me that my MySpace page was not the best. My MySpace page. I designed that thing. It looked like a professional designer did it. I had all kinds of things on there. Every day I changed the song. It was the song of the day. I mean, I absolutely loved MySpace. I was constantly changing my friends out because I said, not, and nobody's number one. I love you all. Rip. That was a good one. Could you imagine what it would have turned into all these years? Tom, like we all had a friend in common. Tom, what happened to Tom? Where'd Tom go? How's Tom doing? I need to know how Tom is. Let's Google to see whatever happened to Tom from MySpace. Holy smokes. Tom Anderson, the co-founder of MySpace, retired from the tech industry in 2009 after selling the company for $580 million. Now worth an estimated $60 million, he lives a private life traveling the world as a professional landscape photographer with a focus on locations like Hawaii and Japan. Well, good for you, Tom. Good for you. You live a quiet, private life. You got us all together as friends, and now you're private. You thought Justin Timberlake bought MySpace. Could you imagine? I think I remember my email. I definitely remember my password. Live Journal. All my friends and I kept up with each other. I never heard of Live Journal. That is a pretty good retirement. My girlfriend's mom and Tom's. I know that Timberlake. I just saw the body cam footage of him with the doing the field sobriety. I was like, what the hell? You're a big letdown there, Timberlake. Bye, bye, bye. And they get away with the shit. That's what pisses me off. That's what's pissing me off there. I don't know. Well, this Caturday turned into talked about lizard people, missing scientists. Barely touched on the job, but I'm keeping you guys a little bit in the loop. There are crazy stories though. I mean, I talk to, I talk to the bubs at least once a week. And she's like, you gotta tell me what the update is. And she's like, this place is wild. I talk to my therapist. Every couple of weeks, I check in with my therapist because I got to keep my shit together. I think everybody needs therapy. We all know how I am. So I check in with my therapist and we're talking. I'm telling her all the stories and, like what was going on and what, like me and Mr. Kazi had a conversation before I left the door that day. So because I had it at lunchtime and he said something to me and I was like, you know what? I have to get advice on this because he's right. He is not wrong about what he just said to me. I wasn't upset. I was like, okay. Anyway, so I'm talking to her and I was like, but here's what happened to me since we last spoke. Told her the stories and she goes, I'm like, yeah, that's my thought. But I said, and I'm not making this up. These are true stories. And I said, you know what? If I ever find out you have written a book and you you used you just used a different name and these were my stories, I'm coming to you for royalties. And she laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Serious. Love the tinfoil hat stuff. Yeah. I've heard never meet your favorite actor. They will only disappoint. Um, I can see that being a thing because I mean I've met quite a few famous people because of, like, working in the radio, and I was just like, what's the hype all about? Kind of thing. I can believe that. Who would I want to? I probably Rob Thomas. I would want to, like, just meet him and be like, "Did you did like you have no idea how you uplift me when I'm like if I hear your song, I immediately I'm like, okay, it just uplifts me." And he's like clean. He's not, talking about all kinds of. It's Rob Thomas, for crying out loud. We all know how I feel about the Rob Thomas. So, but anyway, I think that's who I would want to meet. Or Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper seems like he'd be fun, and he's from Philly, so we can, like, joke about the area. I think maybe him. But I'm not out there, like, oh, I wish I could meet, like, doing the meet and greets. Pay thousands of dollars to meet and greet your person. Are you kidding me? Like, no, absolutely not. Will y'all do me a favor, please? We're looking at an offer on the ranch. Please say a prayer for an easy move with the 5 dogs and all kitties. I am not leaving one. We'll need a trap if you. Aw, Nico, God is watching and it is all in God's hands. And I pray that God, because you're taking all the animals, God's got your back. But I will definitely say a prayer. And Mr. Kazi's listening, so we will make sure that we pray for you. Absolutely going to pray. And for Stephanie too, because she's getting ready to make settlement. Hope that you don't spend 17 hours, signing all those papers, and that you, like, I know it's stressful, but just like the first night, like as soon as you turn the key, the first day, that night, whatever it may be, like, go get, I know you got a little one, but get like a bottle of champagne and you and the hubs just toast in the kitchen before you unpack anything. Just toast that you have a milestone. Seriously. You'll look back on that moment forever. So I hope you have an easy move. But definitely, Nico, we will definitely put you in the prayers. I've never had any instrument in meeting any celebrities whatsoever, even my favorites. You wouldn't have anything to tell him? No, I would tell Rob Thomas, like, dude, you've lifted me up. And I probably, like, well, I wouldn't because that would be rude, but I'd prefer to see him solo on a solo tour rather than with Matchbox 20 because he's got more upbeat songs solo. And he sings the Matchbox 20 songs too. So it's like a wild, wild concert. You got this. All the animals to let you catch. Yes. Nico, you're going to do it. Apparently, all those California people want to come out, so maybe they want to buy a big land. You never know who's going to buy your property. Once you set up the kitty boxes and show the kitties where it has always seemed to get the idea. I guess this is where I am now. Ah, and cats are like, this transition can go one of two ways. It can go smoothly or it cannot. You decide. Absolutely. My favorite champagne, and I've had quite a few, and um I've been treated to expensive ones. Girl, get the Corbel. It used to be 14.99. Get the Corbel. Corbel's the best champagne I've ever had. And I've had like hundreds of dollars bottles. That's just not. I don't understand the hype. Get the Corbel. Get a couple of glasses from the dollar store and just dink in the kitchen. I moved with 3 cats like for 6 times. uh, my mom always gets Asti. Yeah, I mean, I really do enjoy the Corbel. I think Corbel's a little bit better than Asti, but I get it. Like, just go with the cheap. You just need one bottle. And I'm a dry bitch, so I get the extra dry because I love it. I met some stars growing up in Middle Tennessee, and I don't think I asked any of them for the. Yeah, I wouldn't get an autograph. That's weird. And that's weird. Like, I wouldn't ask for an autograph. Now, listen, if I met I met 50 Cent. I would ask for a selfie. And if it was a bad selfie, I'd be like, "Can we take another one until we get a good one? Because this definitely has to be posted." I think he would understand. I think he would want to keep it moving, but I think he would understand. Because I'd have to tell him how nice his teeth are. Like, I don't know what dentist you went to. I know that they've been redone. Like, keep that dentist. Make sure you have him on speed dial because you might pop a veneer. Always walk around me yelling for days. Like, what? uh, Cats are funny. I moved Coco one, two, three, 4 times. She went from where we adopted her back to my grandmother's to my apartment and then here. She's just like, whatever. As long as I can hop up on their refrigerator to eat, I'm fine. I can't break it from her. She's been doing that for forever. I can't break it. She refuses. She refuses to come down. And then she walks, so you can't. I'm like, all right, you know what? You win this one. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles. Sometimes you just got to pick your battles. 9 times. She lived with me 9 different places. Poor dear. Aw. Well, listen, you took her. You know how many people abandon their animals that drive? Like, it just breaks my heart because the animal didn't deserve that. Like, the animals are a part of your life, part of your world, but to them, you are their entire world. Like, just respect the animal. Steve is planning on buying barbed wire gloves to pick up Monster, Animal, Beast, and Princess. Well, that was my Jack. He was abandoned. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. You might want to call in the Wild Foundation and ask them, like, hey, what's the best tip on this? Or, like, your local shelters and stuff like that. I'm sure you know what you're doing, but, you might want to get back up. Musicians and wrestlers. No, you don't pay attention. My first apartment I got was my parents' house. I've had to hide a cat too. And the little bastard would go in between the blinds and we got caught and we're like, we're just babysitting, He's like, all right, because you're not allowed to have animals. We're like, all right. So we had to take the couch pillows, right? Because we had one of those couches where the pillows weren't attached to the back. We had to take the pillows from the couch and put them along the sliding glass door so we couldn't get in between the blinds. That cat was Hamlet. Hamlet was my first. Yeah, Hamlet was like my first kitten. Like, I watched him be born and everything like that. His mom was Misty, and it was just he was just the first cat. My mom's like, we're keeping him. I had the Barbie playhouse, the dream house, and the kittens all migrated to my bedroom. Mama brought them all in my room. Whatevs. Then they started to get a little rambunctious, right? Because they're kittens. Now they're getting to be a little rambunctious and everything. Well, Hamlet decided to go in. He would sleep on the little Barbie bed, right? When he was a little baby. So he decided that that was his little house. And one night he decided he was going to go through the door and it had the window cut out. He got his head stuck in the thing, and all I heard was this rattling and all that. The friggin' door was stuck on the kitten's head. It was just this whole big thing. I'm like, oh my word. And me and my mom laughed. Like, I was little, but I knew that it was funny. And she just laughed and laughed. And that's when she decided she was keeping Hamlet. He lived a beautiful, spoiled 19 years. Oh, that was a heartbreaker. He was a heartbreaker. My children hate me because we have to retake a picture. That's a good one. I know. Uh, Went to a church down the street from Dolly Parton's house. My daughter went to the same middle school as Miley Cyrus. Oh, Miley Cyrus, eh? That's good, Jarella. Like I said, we weren't getting rid of Hamlet. Hamlet was it. I know, that's how I found Misty. I found Misty, and I brought her home. And my dad's like, "You ain't getting no friggin' cat." I said, "Okay." And then my mom was like, "Mm-hmm. Misty stayed. Misty got pregs." That was before, I don't know, that was, whatever. Then let's not talk about my parents. I've been talking about them all week. We have the royals to talk about because a lot has happened over there in the UKs. It was like, there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? I have the Instagram pulled up because it's just easier to look at the pictures that way because there's so many things. And by so many things, I mean so many things. Oh, Jarella, because it was meant to be yours. That's why nobody took it. They said, I'm going to go with this Jarella person. She's going to make sure that I eat the right foods and that I get put in a hamper so that I can move with her. Let me pull up the Instagrams. You said you found her in a parking lot. Well, I mean, what's the difference? Like some dude handed it to her. Like it was abandoned. The baby was abandoned. They could take it anyway. Bring on the Kates. I know. Kate's out there today. She's Anzac is, I think that's how you pronounce it. Their Memorial Day for the fallen New Zealand and Australian veterans, because they're sovereign over those countries too. So she's out there looking, looking like a stunner as usual. That Kate. Let's go. We're going to start with the Queen. But I'm telling you, there's something up with King Charles as far as like the stuff politically that's happening over there. And Harry and people are not happy about it at all. So keep in mind, just it's Meghan and Harry. They're assholes. Anyway, so they went and they celebrated the Queen. What's her birthday? I wrote it down so I didn't get it wrong. On the 21st was what would have been Queen Elizabeth's 100th birthday. So they celebrated her because of, her groundbreaking role as the Queen. So that was her as a teen. I don't know why they threw him in there. But he was hosting a party for her at Buckingham Palace. So they all got together. What is happening? It's bouncing story to story. This is when he was, how did they put that together? Anywho, look at our little George. Louis turned 8. It's Louis, not George. Louis, not George. Louis turned 8 on the 24th. Like, I remember seeing him as a little toddler. Like, he's 8 now. And he's starting to grow into looking like, like he's getting ready to be a teen. I hope he doesn't stop his shenanigans, though. This was their Earth Day because they had their Earth Day. They celebrated Earth Day, and Catherine, when we listen to the rhythms of Mother Nature, we remember where we belong. I don't really go out. I heard they're lizard people. Jarella, not William and Catherine. Maybe the generations before them. Not them. Don't say that. This is the party where she wore the purple dress, the lilac, because the Queen loved bright pastels. So it was in honor to her, and she wore her pearls and her pearl earrings. William looking fun, having a good time. I didn't know this part, but they invite people. If this doesn't stop giving me text messages, they, the queen and the king, like who's ever at the throne, they send people that are getting ready to turn 100 birthday cards. I did not know that. I thought that that was amazing. So he invited these people that were turning 100 to Buckingham Palace to celebrate as well. Could you imagine? I thought that that was awesome. And that's, they just did a little, tribute. I don't understand why Camille's got her hand on this. They do that here too. I didn't know that. They do? I say, I don't know. I guess because I'm not even, I'm nowhere. Well, I'm halfway there, but yeah, I didn't know they send people birthday cards at 100. I don't know if I want to live to 100 to find out. But anyway, I don't know why this bitch got her hand on the knife. And look at this. She's awkward. Like she looks like she's taking it from the woman. And she's not like, why are you standing there to cut the cake? This photo sent me up a wall. Anyway, so that's their party. Everybody was there except Meghan and Harry. This man that she's hugging, he had like recently lost his wife, and he went because his wife's dream was to go and meet the royals and go to Buckingham Palace. So he had just recently lost his wife, like I said, and he went, and that's why he was talking to Kate, and he told her that story. And she, she had a very lengthy conversation with him because she's just a kind person, right? Jerome, right? He's like crying. I mean, how can you not hug the man? But he was very excited that he got to fulfill his. Yeah, I would cry too. He got to fulfill his wife's, dream, and she's not here. So, when he meets her again, he'll tell her. It's just, I don't know. Of course, they stole the show. So there was Queen Elizabeth's party, and then it was Earth Day, and then it was this little comedian's birthday, and they showed they did a video for him. I thought at the time when I saw it, I'm like, is this AI? So then I went to Instagram, and it was officially posted by Prince and Princess of Wales. I was like, oh, okay, all right. He was doing his racing thing. He's trying to, go green with the F Formula cars. So that's what he was doing over there. He's behind the wheel here. They're probably having a flying fit because he shouldn't be doing this. He really shouldn't be taking these risks. He's going to be the king. But he's over there in the race car. I don't know if he raced. He probably didn't race. But he's going green with the Jaguars. Another picture. This is her today at the honoring the Australians and the New Zealanders, cheese and crackers. Megan, you could never. But everybody was out doing remembering the courage, sacrifice, and spirit of all the Australians and New Zealanders who served and continue to serve at the armed forces. So that's what's going on over there in the UK. Amazing how Meghan learned nothing from Kate during the time they spent together. So here's the thing that I also found, because I like peruse the titles, right? The news things. You know how they were saying like Kate was like kind of like open and trying to like talk William into keeping an open mind and like maybe not burning that bridge completely with his brother. She was the peacekeeper. That's what she was called. After this trip that the two bozos went to Australia and they used their titles for monetary reasons, but then threw in a couple charitable things to make it look like it was a royal tour. She's completely done. The news article said that she's no longer keeping peace. She is very upset that they used the tour as a marketing ploy. Because as soon as they came home from Australia, the two numbnuts, as soon as they came home from Australia, Meghan launched candles that were in honor of Archie and Lilibet. They had their names on it, whatever. They were homage to the kids. And they were in Australia just last week or, 10 days ago, whatever. And their Memorial Day is coming up. Like they didn't, honor them at all. Like it's just this whole big thing. They're just such boneheads. Now the idiot is over there. And I'm sorry. In my opinion, Harry's an idiot. He's over there. He's in the Ukraine right now. He's in the Ukraine right now. He's got the Union Jack flag. They can't even post the Union Jack flag in their own country right now. But he's over there in Ukraine with the Union Jack telling them like, getting involved in the war. What? He's trying like I think that Charles has a lot to do with this and he's making William take the title when it's William's turn. I don't think that's right. He needs to stop him and stop him cold turkey right now. She is always elegant. It makes no sense how Harry acts to William. William and Catherine are such amazing people. Mimi Megan. Did you hear the conspiracy? It's a conspiracy theory that and it came from somebody in the UK that has a reputable background and had a reputable job. He retired, now he has nothing to lose. The conspiracy theory is that Megan is actually in her 50s, that she shaved off 6 years of her life, and now pictures are starting to surface of like, party Megan and stuff like that. That's going to be interesting. I mean, we already have the conspiracy that she didn't give birth to her children, and if she is 6 years older, then she might not have given birth because the older you get, the less it becomes more difficult, right? I'm reading Betrayal, Power, Deceit, and the Fight for the Future of the Royal Family, released March 2026 by Tom Bauer, and it's good. Yeah, Tom Bauer is a good. He's made a name for himself over there. You believe she is older? You did hear that? Also said. Yep. Well, Tater, think about it. She's Hollywood, right? And at that time, before all the shit fell to like the floor, she was in cahoots with Oprah and Tyler Perry, whatever his name is. Heavy hitters in Hollywood that are also allegedly, in our opinion, conspiracy theory, all that, blah, 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 involved in all the shenanigans that goes on in the underworld or, first world order. Not first world, new world. Um, because it's Hollywood, they have actresses that are, pregnant in the show, but not pregnant in life, but they look pregnant because they have a Hollywood. You know what I mean? They have FX. I believe it because she just did things that a pregnant woman. She did things like that a pregnant woman would be like. You can't just bend over. I've never been pregnant, but so I hear. Like when you're preg, the belly, you can't just bend over really fast. Like it's a little bit of an awkward situation when you're carrying the baby. And all the things she did, she just made sure everybody saw her baby bump. And you're a mom, you're proud and all that. But she made it like in your face. Yeah, they're hiding all kinds of stuff, but new pictures are being released and surfacing, and she's not going to be happy about it. But poor, and I don't even say poor Harry because he's like, you just went along with this whole thing. You thought that it was okay, and the thing with them is they're saying like, you can't just be like, even though they're no longer working royals, you can't be them, the Sussexes and just go to Australia for a tour. Like the palace is still has a hand in that. And the palace, the firm, sent photographers specifically to take pictures of them when everybody in the world, every country in the world has talented photographers. So why is the palace sending these? Like because they want to release certain photos because it has to go through the palace. It's got to go through the firm. So there's just all this thing that the king is kind of still backing him and putting up with this bullshit, and it's you know you can't tie your shoes after 5 months. Okay, maybe just me. Well, Tater, no, I'm not. I was never a mom, so I don't know. But I could imagine that tying your shoes are pretty difficult. For crying out loud, before I started losing the weight, sometimes they were difficult for me. There were some days it was difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't think that this woman had these babies. And so think about it. Megan is all about attention and the me, 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 me. Why didn't you use your platform to bring awareness to infertility? Like you would think that she would want to cash in on that sympathy, right? Because there are a lot of women who struggle to get pregnant that have to use IVF, and sometimes IVF doesn't work and they need a surrogate. You know what I mean? Like, why couldn't that be your platform to talk about? Like, Kate's over there with like childhood development, right? And the mental health and Earth and all that. We all know what Kate's involved in. Why couldn't Megan choose that? Because that is a topic that people one should know about, like learn about. I'd like to know more about it. Like it was never an option for me. Well, I mean, maybe back then, but I wasn't thinking about. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I think people would want to know more about it and bring more awareness to it. 3 months with twins, Nico. She may have had the first one. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but no way she would ever do it again. Ah, I know I just had a doctor's appointment. You tell me that I got to put my card. They're telling me I owe my copay. You're supposed to take it out automatically. Do it. Don't send me messages. Um, she may have had the first one. Right. I think that she wouldn't do it again because, the vanity. Infertility can be devastating. Right. And to bring awareness, like she's well, It just drives me nuts. You want to be an Instagram influencer when you had the whole entire world as a platform and you sovereign over many countries, and you go. That was the other thing they were talking about, like the like Auschwitz and the concentration camp. She wore something that replicated the outfits that they had to wear in the concentration camps. She has no self-awareness whatsoever. And she's always wearing wrinkly clothes. She's I don't think she's tone deaf. I think she's very aware of every single thing she's doing. Wearing that outfit and mocking it just like she's doing with Diana. I think she's trying to say like F you, look at me. I just really think she's very, very, very calculated. She's very calculated. And there you have Princess Kate, who's just wearing like, no name brands. I mean, yes, she does wear the Alexander McQueen stuff. She's the princess. She has to wear like, she's got to look polished, fitted, for her. But we love it because she does rewear those outfits. Easter outfit she wore in 2022. She was in that outfit. And she's kept that wardrobe and she re-wore it. So she re-wears this stuff. Yes, Jarella. Yes. With the blue and white striped shirt. Yes. And they said like it was what they wore in concentration camps. You're like, she's completely, she's no good. Queen Elizabeth had her number, and now Kate said, no more, no more, absolutely no more. After the Australian tour, she said, absolutely no more. So she's no longer going to have Harry's back, and that's a shame because those two were very tight. They were like really, he was the third wheel most of the time. And him and Kate used to laugh together all the time. Because William does look like he's a little, he's a little stuck in the mud. But, his life and what his destiny is, I guess you kind of have to be serious most of your life. And he does giggle and stuff like that. But Kate's out there, on a porch or like a balcony, and she's got water balloons. And they're sitting there saying like, "Oh, she's aiming for her husband, and she's trying to hit him with a water balloon." You know what I mean? She's got a little. So she had Harry to like kick it around, joke about it. Completely out of touch. Oh, my goodness gracious. Now, what's today? So the 27th, the king and, his partner Camilla, they're coming to the United States to address Congress. What are you addressing Congress about? You got a bunch of political problems going on in the UK, and there's a lot of stuff going down over there in the UK. A lot. Like I said, they're not allowed to they're not allowed to post the Union Jack. Okay. There's all kinds of things going on. They're like, whatever. So he's coming over here. He's going to be, and Trump's going to host him like, he hosted Trump. They're going to have like, a reception and all that. But he's supposed to be addressing Congress. And then after that, he's going to be here for a couple of days. And then I think he's going to Jamaica for the first time in a few years. It's the islands. I believe it's one of the islands. And so Harry is trying to make headlines. Like so Meghan's out there wearing all this trash, outfits days before the Australian Memorial Day. So they're trying to steal the headlines. Now, Charles is coming to the US, so they're like, what's next? He's over there in the Ukraine talking about stuff. So what's he going to do when Charles is actually in the US? Like, what kind of headlines is he going to steal? Because they are trying to steal headlines. Anytime something great happens, they're trying to steal the headlines. I don't know. I don't know. Nutmeg put links on her website to buy the outfit. Oh, that's right. I did hear that. I did hear. Yeah. let's go on the website. What the hell is her website? Meghan Markle. I don't even know. Now I'm gonna have as ever. Well, I should have known. Shop. No, don't be giving me all kinds of pop-ups. You're an ass. Menu. It's all the. Hold on, I always think that you guys see what I'm posting. Thank God you don't see what's in my history. I mean, not that there's anything sinister, but you know. So this is the website. They can't. A chocolate box. How much is the chocolate box? $58 for chocolate that probably stinks. Oh, side note, real quick. Hold on. Real quick. This is serious. I remove this for a minute because this is serious. Now, look. I know that this is bad. Jarella, just close your ears. Don't listen to what I'm about to say. I am on a Quest peanut butter cup kick. They're like 100 and some calories for 2 peanut butter cups. They're the size of Reese peanut butter cups. They're pricey. It's pricey. But I am telling you, these peanut butter cups are the best peanut butter cups I have ever had in my entire life. They're very low in sugar. There's only a couple of grams of sugar. They have 11 grams of protein and not many carbs for like 100 and I don't know, like 80 calories. I don't know. I'm telling you, they're pricey. They are pricey. Don't come for me. They're pricey, but they're addicting. Okay. I feel my bear bells, and these peanut butter cups, my sweet tooth is gone. I'm just saying. All right, back to the Megan. Um, the chocolate is amazing. I just have to tell you, this one. Look at it. Let's look at it. Okay. Look at her writing as ever in the chocolate. That looks like dry as. What is that? Orange flakes inside the chocolate? Who told me to get on here? Lady Autumn, this is your fault. Oliver Jams, definitely, look at this. $64 for these candles. $64. Our signature scent, modern and elegant. Love at first light. Number 519 is the feeling of warm sunshine and blue skies surrounded by love and laughter. This signature candle is inspired by the ease and joy of a day that holds Megan's most cherished memories, her wedding day. Get the. Shut up. You looked awkward AF on your wedding day, ma'am. Did she take that? Like, this is the stage? This is how they staged this? Yeah, it's a flickering candle. Let's check the wine. I'm not entering my date of birth to look at this. Decline. Nope. Keep your wine. I'm not giving you any of my information, Markle. You're not getting it. But, all right, so let's go in here. We'll close that out. Meghan Markle shirt. No. Here you go. Here, Jarell, I'm going to show you. This is the shirt she wore. And that she's selling, according to Lady Autumn. There you go. Come on, get out of there. See? This is her in Australia. That's her. Put in Google where to buy Megan's Australian look. Oh, Megan Maven? Oh, that's not it. Maybe they shut it down because no, it's not coming up. Not coming up. Slimy sucker. It's ill advised. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. I think she does this stuff for the attention and the negative feedback. Good morning or afternoon, Freeside. I have no idea how long we've been flapping over here. It is definitely afternoon. She is an ass. She is an ass. 1000%. So there's Harry, who could have been at his grandmother's celebration, like that. Like she was the longest reigning monarch in history. She's very influential. She was great. Everybody loved her. Like she kind of like, she had to grow out of that awkward stage and she got a little bit like looser in the, when she started having biscuits with the Paddington Bear. Okay. But he could have been over there celebrating and having a good time. Every picture I saw, everybody was smiling. They had a cocktail in their hand. Not that that was what was making them smile, but it was laid back and casual. It wasn't like official, right? Um, People that were turning 100 were there. There was big cake. Yeah, she might have pulled it down. And rightfully so. She should have pulled it down. But here he is, you know, his brother's over there in the formula. What is it? The F. Whatever that car is. He's over there doing that. He's like doing global prizes, like of Earth and all that stuff. Like, what are you doing, Harry? What are you doing? Your foundation failed. It's bankrupt. You got fired. You're being called into lawsuits. You're wrapped up in this security thing because your wife thinks that like somebody was following her in New York City and you needed a high speed race. I've been to New York City and I'm sure everybody knows and has seen what New York City streets look like. There is no high speed chases in New York City. No, there is none. It's AI generated in Hollywood. The marmalade. Yeah, Nico. You know, she's over there having like, high tea with the bear. And then Kate's hugging the bear at the train station. There's just one of these things is not like the other. That's where we're at with them. That is where we are at with them. But so Kate was out there in the streets today. So was Anne, you know, giving wreaths. Kate went in the king's place. So, it was honor of the king. She stepped up to the plate and he's looking rough. He's looking rough. I don't know. I don't know. This might be coming back. Just sit back and wait. Again, I'm going to say, as I do every week, we are going to be here when everything goes down. We're going to watch William and Kate ascend to the throne. We'll be here. We'll be here. I know it's going to be really, really late or really, really early for a lot of you, but we're going to be here. We're going to watch the coronation. We have to be. I mean, where else are you going to talk about it? Where else are you going to? I mean, you can go to the professional channels and watch it, like, with high def cameras. We're just going to be sniping. Yeah, she said high speed chase. She feared for her life. And that's when this whole security thing started. And he's going through all these lawsuits to get the palace to give him his security back. You can't have British security in the United States. I mean, I guess you can, but you're going to make the taxpayers of the UK pay for your security while you're no longer a working royal and live in America. In Montecito. Okay, Megan. Okay. I think she's eating the wildflowers out there in her backyard. You know what I'm saying? They're floundering. I tell you, they're floundering. Well, they're way overpriced, and then she's saying "Oh my gosh, we sold out." They didn't sell out. Somebody went. Okay, real quick. I watched this woman. The channel's called Lauren the Insider. She actually worked in the palace, and fun fact, her godfather was George Michael. Her dad was his PR firm. And then she got into PR and then wound up going to the palace. And now she's just a freelance person because she can't take it anymore. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, so she has a couple of friends who are in the know and, pulled pranks and got on the wait list and was told, the whatever she launched, the jam in the beginning. It could be a couple of months. So it launched, and then a week later they were being told, good news, we got more in stock. And they kept emailing and email, it was constant spam because they were trying to sell what was on the shelves. It never sold out. It didn't sell out. She's bullshitting because you tell them that they sold out and it'd be oh, get on the waiting list, blah 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 blah, and it costs money to get on the waiting list. She's just a bullshitter. They never produced a lot of stuff. He could hire. He could, but they're drowning in debt. They're drowning in debt. They didn't even buy their own house over here in the U.S. of A. They rented Tyler Perry's mansion for whatever, saved $14,000 a month. Whatever it is, I don't know how much it is. You could have bought a friggin' house and paid your own mortgage. She would have been gorgeous as the Queen Mom. Yes. I don't think Meghan would have been in the picture if Diana were still here. They can, but they're trying to. She's now demanding that people call her, by her title, Her Royal Highness. You're not Princess of Sussex, whatever. You're not, okay? You're not the Duchess. You're not, no, 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 no. No, you're not. You gave that up. And now she's telling you wanted to give that up so bad, and now you want the title back. You can't do both. You can't play on both sides of the street, right? You're going to get hurt. You're getting hurt now. You're witnessing it. I don't think Diana would have let this whole thing pan out. I don't think so. I think Diana would have been like, "What the hell are you thinking? Let them have a fling, and then you go back to Chelsea because Chelsea, I think, is the one that he should have been with." Her, the South African girl with the blonde hair. I think he should have been with her. Those two are cute together. But they were young and didn't know any better. But so was him and Kate. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to say. This week, the 29th, I had to do a quick check. The 29th of this week, April, William and Kate will be married 15 years. 15 years ago, I watched her walk down that aisle. I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I get amazed by Diana because I remember Diana walking down the aisle. But William and Kate married 15 years ago. And look at them. They are flourishing and they're walking right into their destiny with grace. If we all get up and go to work every day, yeah. Before, yeah, I am. It's baffling. He and Harry, like William is doing a great job, like modernizing things and showing everybody like where the monarchy is going to go and the crown is going to like modernize like things to this day and age while still holding that tradition. He and Harry could have been a force to reckon with. Like him and Kate just they just don't do anything wrong. Like they literally do not do anything wrong. Have we ever heard of anything wrong? Um so add that to Harry without her. Like Harry, like it just could have gone so much. His life could have been so much different, and it's that he's never going to get it back. Throw it. Now, to be fair, Diana did not look happy walking down the aisle. It could have been that heavy ass strain she was carrying. She had a huge tiara. The dress looked like it was hot as hell. That could have been the reason why she didn't look happy, but I don't necessarily think she wanted to run down the aisle. Kate, on the hand, had like she looked nervous because she knew that billions of people were watching her, and I'm sure that I would have like been like, but when she got to the like to him, that was true love. All right, I go on my girl crush with Kate. I just always go on this girl crush. I think we all have the same crush, so it's not really that awkward. But, could you imagine billions of people watching you say the most intimate word? I think marriage vows are like the most intimate thing you can say to somebody. So I felt awkward, like, with me and Mr. Cos. And then there was only like 12, 14 people there. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I want to say this to you, like, privately. Now, look, I'm going to take my vows in front of everybody and let everybody know that, for better or worse, sickness and health, good times and bad, I'm with you, bud. But could you imagine that in front of billions of people? Ay, ay, ay. And being scrutinized, like the tiara, the earrings, like, every little detail of the dress. I don't know. That girl's she's got it. Uh, would have done something about it. Yeah. Tater, I read your comment as wouldn't have. And I'm like, what? No, she would have done something. She has no class. So glad we had a very small group for our wedding. Big party after that. Yeah, I mean, we got married during the pandemic, so we had no choice. We had no choice. And Mr. Kazi was not waiting to get married. So there's that. He was like, no, he told his exact words were, quote, I'm coming for you. I kind of, like, to be honest, I was like a little nervous about that. I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It was a fleeting moment it was a fleeting thought in my head. And then I realized he was dead serious about us getting together. He wasn't waiting to get married. And I mean, I followed him right along. I wasn't mad either, but I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. We're getting married during a pandemic and like my family knows you. It just would have been it just would have been a moment. But we had a moment anyway. We had a moment anyway. He had Kimikaze playlist in the background that he brought to the restaurant, so we were listening to our tunes. It was nice. It was nice. The cake was great, even if it had real flowers in it. Before they were married, the Queen gave Meghan her own coat of arms she could design and was given someone to prevent a misstep. Meghan asked for a songbird with its tongue cut out. What? She asked for a songbird with the tongue cut out as her coat of arms? You got married in Vegas on the webcam? Well, hey, look. Did you run to Vegas on purpose? Like, did you like that was one of you just wanted to get married? Me and Mr. Kazi have no desire to go to Vegas, but I think it would be kind of funny if we were like, hey, let's go get married by Elvis. I mean, we're already married. We'd renew something, but then no, I guess I regret just saying that. I guess I regret that. It was interesting, Stephanie. No, listen, it was the pandemic. I was on the Facebook page in the neighborhood, like, hey, this is Baker. This is what I want. I wanted a naked cake, like a naked cake, just a small one. And I wanted flowers on it. And I didn't want icing. I didn't want the icing flowers. I wanted I wanted a modern cake. There was a lot of, there was an issue with the flowers on the cake, but we still survived and it was a good cake. And it was by someone that was right here in the neighborhood that I live in. And I had no idea that we lived in the same neighborhood until we started talking about, money. Hub's dad was between jobs, knew he had any damn money. I had 2 grand of my dad's life insurance money left in an account and bought us a hotel. That's awesome, Jarella. I love that. Your dad was a part of your wedding anyway. That's awesome. I think that that's an amazing story, Jarella. He was there. You didn't have cake, Tater? I think she charged me $100 for the cake and like 12 cupcakes that I didn't even ask for. She just said, "Oh, you're gonna have 12 cupcakes." And then when I got there, she put the cake on she went and bought me a cake plate that she put on there that was like, I don't know if she purposely did it or not, but it was like 16.99 from Home Goods. I still have it. It looks like a rustic cake plate. It's really cute. And she delivered it. So I think it was 125 because she charged me 25 to deliver because it was it was pretty good distance. So when I got there and then we got home the next day and I realized that the cake plate was there, I was like, no, I gotta give her money. So I Venmoed her 50 more dollars because she didn't have to make the cupcakes. She didn't have to give me the cake plate. So I made sure that, we took care of her. Hate event planning. Oh, I love decorating. Well, that's the way you wanted to do it, and that's how you got married. Viva Las Vegas. Yeah, oh, the Queen definitely didn't. The Queen was not a fan. She's not a fan. She's not a fan. Aw. Listen, the the supermarket cakes are sometimes the best, right? I don't know why he's down there huffing and puffing. It always makes me feel awkward, like I have to get done, but I think he might be in pain, so I'm worried about him. Um, but yeah, I mean, supermarkets. Listen, our ShopRite, what Luke came in and said that ShopRite is Kroger on a diet. They have a catering, like you can go on their catering part. They do like baked potato bars, they do taco, like, they have a huge and very eclectic catering menu. Like, you can just go in and get a hoagie, like a hoagie platter with some, like, potato salad and all that, but now they make, like, all kinds of stuff. I'm like, "Damn, look at them." I didn't know that, because if we ever had a reception or we had a party, it would just be finger foods, and it would be, like, I would hope that it would be on, like, a Sunday when Eagles and the Cowboys are playing away, because we play them twice a year, like, the away game, and then everybody come in like their Eagle gear and all that, like, be totally laid back, not anything fancy. But I'd have to have a DJ, and we'd have to have, like, we'd have to have good snacks, bar food. Kind of like what I'm planning for my funeral. I bet. I bet. But I'm telling you. Well, you guys, I have a cast iron. Can't wait to get my cast iron in the oven to start seasoning. And we got to do steak bites, steak tips, and I got a lot. Jeez, I got a lot to do, and I'm gonna have to take the trash out because I am not having him walk more trash out. He is in pain, and I don't want him to do that. So I am going to listen to this Nikos, see what's going on over there. The butler didn't do it. I'm going to go over there and listen to that. And I will probably see you. See, tomorrow's when Roz is coming back. She postponed the members only. So I'll see you guys later in a stream somewhere. But definitely next. Oh, wait a minute. The Kentucky Derby. All right, we got to figure out what Caturday is doing, because I might have to go in next weekend. In May, I know I have to do 2 Saturdays, but next weekend we're definitely doing the Derby. We'll definitely do the Derby, but I got to figure it out. So keep an eye on it. I hate missing Caturdays, but I will let you know if she's just lazy. Exactly. She's going to torture us with like some stupid random thing. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Bye, guys. I will talk to you guys. I'll let you know what's going on next week. Bye.